This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Team USA hoped to win the FIBA World Cup with a smaller, quicker roster, but their two losses have come to bigger teams. Today, Germany wins 113-111 in the semifinals, sending the Americans into Sunday's bronze medal game against Canada. Anthony Edwards with 23 today for Team USA. No Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones, no win for the Chiefs on opening night. Jones continues his contract holdout. Does this loss get the two sides closer? ESPN's Dan Graziano.
There's a lot of room between the highest paid defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, and the second highest, Quinnen Williams, and there's like an $8 million gap there in terms of average salary. So that's been hard to bridge, and right now we'll see if the Chiefs move at all toward him. Dan Graziano on Get Up. Packers wideout Christian Watson out for Sunday's game against the Bears with a sore hamstring. Luis Rengifo of the Angels having more tests today on his left biceps, but manager Phil Nevin is saying that injury does not look good.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Happy Football Friday, y'all. Theriot in 1 hour from right now. Phil Steele in 15 minutes. We'll preview the biggest games in college football, including the biggest game in college football, the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Texas Longhorns from Bryant-Dennehy Stadium. We're looking forward to that. LSU gets a little bit of a breather this week. They'll welcome the Grambling Tigers into Tiger Stadium. Brian Kelly met with reporters last night. We'll get to that in a second. As always, we start the show as we do every day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So LSU and Grambling will meet in Tiger Stadium for the first time in their history. Of course, LSU played a team from the SWAC a year ago for the first time ever when Southern came into Tiger Stadium, and now Grambling will have the honors. Hugh Jackson, the longtime NFL coach, a former head coach for a year of the Raiders, head coach with the Cleveland Browns as well, spent some 20 years in the National Football League. Hugh Jackson now in his second year at Grambling. They were 3-8 a season ago, and they lost their season opener to Hampton, although they slung the ball around a little bit, threw for over 300 yards, and scored over 30 points. So while LSU is going to have a physical advantage in every phase over Grambling, this is a team that is going to try to do the thing that LSU struggled to contain a week ago against Florida State. We'll get there. Of consequence, Brian Kelly, from his last media availability on Thursday night, meeting with reporters, talked about the status of a couple of players who, we've talked about this all week, that we're expecting LSU to control this game and be able to get a lot of guys action and in the game. And among them is Lance Hurd, who Brian Kelly confirmed we do expect to see get first-team reps on Saturday.
The plan is to get him in, certainly, with the first unit and see how that mix goes as well. And look, I think part of it was, to take an offensive tackle going against Florida State's defensive ends didn't seem to be the smartest thing to do in week one. But Yeah, I think in week 2, I think this is a good opportunity to get him in and give him an opportunity to play a little bit. So excited about getting a chance to see him play.
That says everything that you really need to know. You aren't going to put Lance Hurd in that game a year ago, or a week ago, in that situation, that hornet's nest, especially late in the ball game when you're trailing. Your team is really not feeling great. You got 2 elite ends, and you put Lance Hurd with his first action in that situation. Just not a great option to do. You had Emory Jones out there. You had Miles Frazier, who's played a lot of football in the interior. This is a better opportunity to get his feet wet. Now, as a random tangent, that also speaks to why a week 0 game might serve you well, but I'll let that lie for right now. Earlier in the week, we ran through about a half a dozen players that I would really like to see play or play in different roles this weekend. One of them was Lance Hurd. 2 of the others were receivers, Chris Hilton and Shelton Sampson. And Brian Kelly didn't mince words at all when he talked about Chris Hilton deserving an opportunity.
You know, I think Chris has deserved the opportunity to play some more regardless. And Grambling is going to present a great challenge for us. And again, regardless of the competition, regardless of who we were playing, he's put himself in a position in the way he's practiced to get more reps. So Chris is going to be in the mix.
You know, when Chris Hilton came to LSU, same class as Brian Thomas and Jack Besh. You know, he was a freshman 2 years ago in 2021. He was a guy that was so impressive during his high school career at Zachary. You know, I can remember he had a long touchdown in the state championship game against West Monroe, which ended up being a game winner, and sort of announced himself. And you can always see the physical ability with Chris Hilton. The understanding, or at least as I understood it, was always needing to learn to play the position. And when that all came together, it was going to be really good. And to this point, we've only seen Chris Hilton make 7 receptions. You know, a year ago, made 7 receptions for 109 yards on the season. As a freshman, he had just 2 catches for 81 yards. Of course, the long was the 81-yarder in the bowl game against Kansas State late in that game, where he showed the speed and the ability. So I am excited to see Chris Hilton. Now, the flip side of that is the guy who was Chris Hilton 2 years removed is Shelton Sampson, the 5-star from Baton Rouge, who also, if you were to go through camp, and we talked about it plenty, you had your starters who you knew were your guys. You know, Malik Neighbors was the alpha. Brian Thomas and Kyron Lacey were next. Aaron Anderson was there, but just in a different role. And then it was Chris Hilton, Shelton Sampson very clearly. So if you're expecting Chris Hilton to get playing time on Saturday, you should think the same for Shelton Sampson. Sheldon's
still learning. You know, it's still a process with him, and he's getting there. You know, there's a lot of freshmen that travel for us and we took them on this the trip because we wanted them to get that experience. And a lot of these guys will get there, but they're still cooking. They're still in the oven. And I think we'd be a little early to take them out, but they're going to start popping and start playing this year for us, and he's certainly one of them.
Shelton Sampson's impressive, and he looks the part. And that's a guy against Grambling who you expect to be on the field and make plays. What's interesting to hear Brian Kelly say, they intentionally brought some of those freshmen on the trip to get them that experience. You know, LSU is flexing this, like on their game notes. If you look at the game notes at LSU Princeton on the front page, they point out very prominently, 11 true freshmen saw action in the season opener. 22 players saw their first action in an LSU uniform in the season opener. And then the other number is 35. That's consecutive wins for LSU over in-state opponents. But my point is, LSU is sort of flexing the fact that they had a lot of new players a week ago and played 11 true freshmen. I think that number clearly is going to go up after Saturday's game against Grambling. Now, another new player who's likely going to see his first action is Logan Diggs, the running back from Notre Dame, who we did not see a week ago, and Brian Kelly told us why.
Logan Diggs has been getting quite a bit of work. He feels healthy, and I think a lot of the hesitation was that he wasn't full speed, and to put him in a game against a top 5 opponent or top 10 opponent in Florida State, Frank just didn't feel comfortable in doing so.
When Logan Diggs signed, I told you at the time that he immediately became your most talented back, and I still believe that. The size, the speed, the ability to run with power, make you miss, the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, block. Logan Diggs is all of those things. But clearly, Brian Kelly, you alluded to the fact that it was a coach's decision why he didn't play against Notre Dame, told you why. Or excuse me, against Florida State, told you why. Wasn't 100%. So if he's closer to 100%, this would be a good chance to try to unleash him a little bit. against Grambling. LSU's got to get the running game going. And I know that's a big hesitation, is the fact that the running backs only had 11 carries for 14 yards outside of Josh Williams' draw in that 2-minute drill. And I don't think that if LSU goes and runs for 200 yards against Grambling, I don't think that is this great validator, this great validation of the running game. But if you struggle to control the line of scrimmage and run the ball against Grambling, that is an indicator that you aren't as good in that role as we thought. So what you want to see in a game like this is that you do go control both lines of scrimmage, and a big part of that is going to be the ability to run the ball between the tackles. Lastly, Brian Kelly also spoke about Javen Toviano, who came here in the spring, and they moved him all over. He played boundary corner, he played nickel, he played dime, he played safety, he played box safety, he played all over. And they like him a lot, and they were trying to figure out a place where to play him. If you remember, he's on the Javen Toviano. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Is on the watch list for the Sean Alexander National Freshman of the Year award. And it was so interesting because he's not the guy that really you feel like was going to have the opportunity to play a bunch. It was interesting to see Javen Toviano's name on this list a couple of weeks back when they released the watch list. And Brian Kelly said point blank that he could be headed for a redshirt year.
We like Javion. We're trying to bring him along at the nickel position, and I think it's a process, that we're involved in. And these are the tough decisions that you're trying to make. Is he somebody that can play more than 4 games at a high level for you and contribute where you don't redshirt him? Or is it he's going to get right to that threshold and maybe a couple of special teams performances? So we're not going to do anything until he's ready, and he's not quite ready yet, but we really like his upside. And when he's ready, we're going to play him. If there's, obviously 4 games less in the season, we're in good shape. The question will be if it's, like right now, we don't want to put him out there until he's absolutely ready to play.
In a secondary that had the performance that LSU did on Sunday night against Florida State, if a player isn't ready to play in that secondary, that's very telling. So bring him along slowly. When he's ready, unleash him, but clearly he ain't yet. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, our conversation with Phil Steele, a couple of segments previewing the biggest games of the weekend in college football. We're looking forward to that. It's next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen Air Airline, LA-16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Y'all, kickoff on Saturday night is at 6:30. So you got all day long to tend to all those honeydews, meaning get by Clegg's Nursery early in the day. Whatever you may need, whatever you'd find at a True Value hardware store, as we tell you all the time, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. And maybe the best news, y'all. The best news is that the fall decor is now here. Got a little rain cooling stuff off this afternoon in the greater Baton Rouge area, so it's a great time to get by Clegg's. You want to get those fall bedding plants. You want to get those fall vegetable gardens. They have got all of the fall decor now. The setup is there. If you want to check it out, go to their Facebook page or their social media. Look at their big header. You'll see the pumpkins and the hay bales, the squash, the gourds, the decorator boards, the corn stalks. It's all there for you. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
As you know, it would not be a Football Friday without our visit with Phil Steele, presented by Gage Generators. Gage is Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Phil joins us now, of course, philsteele.com. Check out the Phil Steele College Football Preview magazine. Go to Phil's YouTube channel. Take that Phil Steele Plus tour. And, of course, he's with us here every Friday on AFR. Phil, we appreciate it as always. How are you?
I am doing great. How about yourself, Matt?
The pain has eased as the week has gone along. I would love your thought on what transpired with LSU Florida State Sunday night.
You know, I've heard some national narrative, Matt, that Florida State dominated that game. But watching it, LSU could have led by 17 at the half. It was a game at the end of the third quarter. The interception really seemed to turn the game around and led to a horrible fourth quarter for LSU. But overall, you know, for 3 quarters, LSU was probably the better team.
Yeah, it's maybe they'll get another crack at them somewhere along the way, but Tigers got some stuff they got to fix for sure. In the meantime, LSU gets a breather this week with Grambling, but it's a pretty good slate, Phil, and it actually starts tonight. How about this Illinois-Kansas game? A little bit of a throwback, an intriguing one there. Brett Bielema going on the road. I think Jalen Daniels is going to play for Kansas this week. What do you think about this Friday night appetizer?
You know, for me, it's going to be a fun one to watch. I don't know who to pick, but I think the spreads are 3.5 right now, so it went up a little bit. So at that point, I would like Illinois plus the points because I do consider the game a toss-up. When you look at Illinois, that game against Toledo last week, Toledo's a really good team. In fact, I thought if Toledo won that game, they might have a shot at running the table this year and going 12-0. Illinois needed a late field goal to pull out the win. But I like what I saw to Luke Altmaier look capable at the QB spot and running the football. And with Kansas getting Daniels back, but they have one of the best backup quarterbacks out there in Jason Bean. I think it's going to be a great game, a hyped crowd. I would lean with Illinois plus the points, though.
All right. Phil, last week was devastating for the SEC and their Power Fives, right?
Oof.
South Carolina got run by North Carolina. We saw what happened to LSU. Of course, Florida and Utah in the opener was ugly. The league has an opportunity to get right with a bevy of Power 5 non-conference opponents this week. Let's start with the first one of the day, which is Vanderbilt at 2-0, going on the road to Wake Forest. No Sam Hartman, obviously, at Wake anymore, but the Demon Deacons are still a 10-point favorite. What do you think in that one, Phil?
Yeah, and last year, remember Hartman returned. He had missed a game and came back to the lineup and really shredded Vanderbilt in that game. But when you look at Vandy, I like what I saw at A.J. Swan so far this year. They've got three really good running backs with Alexander, Smith, and Gillespie. And Wake is not quite the same team without Sam Hartman. So it's a game where I would favor Wake at home to win the game, but I think Vandy's got a shot at the upset, and I definitely like the double-digit points that they're getting in this one.
I'm going to come back, Phil, to some of the other games. There's plenty in the night slate with the SEC we'll get to, but I want to kind of go chronologically, and you were talking about Sam Hartman there. Well, he's now at Notre Dame, and the intensity gets ratcheted up on Saturday for the Irish after a couple of snoozers to begin the season. They're on the road against NC State and an upset-minded Wolfpack there. The Wolfpack are a 7.5-point home dog. What do you think? Can the Irish keep this rolling, or can NC State make this interesting?
You know, Notre Dame has won, 28 in a row against the ACC, and they've actually covered the last 8. And this is a really good Notre Dame team. You know, when you look at them, I thought the missing piece they had last year was quarterback. They used a backup quarterback the majority of the year. Now they've got Sam Hartman. And I love Sam Hartman. Just look at his facial expression when he's on the field. This is a serious dude that's going and taking care of business. They got Estime at running back. They got a big offensive line. They've got one of the best defenses. And they've got great special teams. Brennan Armstrong does have his offensive coordinator in Chow, who was with him at Virginia, but they did not look like that against Connecticut. In fact, I thought they were fortunate to come out there with a 10-point win against UConn. UConn played well at times. If this game was at night, I'd be more concerned. At 12 o'clock noon, I think Notre Dame is going to be able to handle the 7.5. I like the Irish to win this one by double digits.
Wow. Okay. Phil Steele rolling with the Irish. Phil's with us, of course, every week, brought to you by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Visit today for a quote, GageGenerators.com, GageGenerators.com. Phil, Coach Prime was all the talk last weekend. I mean, what a debut. They come home now to Folsom Field, and they welcome in Nebraska, former Big 12 rivals here. Colorado, it's interesting, Phil, because that line looks short considering all the love that Colorado's gotten this week. Colorado's just a 3-point home favorite. Little bit of a letdown spot here for Colorado. What are you thinking?
Well, I don't think it would be a letdown spot for the fact it's a home opener, and they are completely sold out. They're all excited to be there. And I got to be honest with you, Matt, I thought TCU was going to roll them last week, and I was very surprised with the unit that they put on the field. There's no doubt they have the skilled players with Dylan Edwards, Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders. I mean, Sanders never even threw for 510 yards in any game in his life, and here he does it in his first FBS game against a team that was playing in the national title game. But, you know, when I look at this matchup a little closer, this is a Nebraska team that probably would have been about a 10-point favorite. But, of course, crinkle that up and throw it out the window. Everybody was wrong on Colorado. But they're going to play a different type of game. I thought TCU played right into the hands of Colorado. Fast pace, open it up. And that led to the showing off the skilled players. Nebraska's going to be different. They're going to run the football, play a little more physical, maybe at the line of scrimmage. And I think they might be able to run the football a little bit on Colorado, a team that gave up 7.1 yards per carry. The key's going to be Jeff Sims. I mean, Jeff Sims tossed 3 interceptions for Nebraska last week. Yeah, the last one led to the Minnesota win. Had he tossed 1 interception, they would easily have beaten Minnesota last week. I'm scared going against Colorado again a second straight week, and if I lose this one, I'm just going to hop on the Colorado bandwagon. But I'm going to take Nebraska plus the points just because it was just a result that was way off my expectations last week.
Phil, let's talk about off the expectation. What about Baylor losing to Texas State? Former LSU quarterback TJ Finley goes in there into Waco and lights him up. Well, now Baylor's got to take on Utah, which had a little extra time after they played on Thursday. Is this a spot maybe where Baylor has been woken up and shaken to attention, or are the Bears just really bad?
Yeah, I think last week in my Inside the Press Box write-up, I talked about the fact that maybe Baylor had a look-ahead game with the Utah on deck and maybe look past Texas State. But Texas State, you know, you look at the job that Kinney did at Incarnate Word. He had that team high-flying offense, and they showed it again last week. But Baylor put up 524 yards in the game. They played well. It was just maybe they were looking ahead to this one. And I think this is a circle the wagons game. I mean, Baylor has now lost 5 straight games. They lost their last 4 last year. They shockingly lose the opener. They need a win, or else their season might be in peril. They got Sawyer Robertson taking over at QB for Blake Shapen, and who knows if Cam Rising will be able to play here. I think the situation greatly favors Baylor. Last week, this game probably would have been a 3 or 4 point line. Now it's above a touchdown. Utah's coming off a big win and traveling, a big revenge game win and traveling. Meanwhile, Baylor's coming off an embarrassing outright upset loss to is a huge favorite in a circle the wagons game. So I like Baylor plus the points to potentially pull the upset here.
Okay. One more in the early windows there, Phil. Look, one right down the street from us, Tulane, and maybe the biggest home game they've had in maybe in that stadium at Ullman Stadium. Ole Miss ranked coming into Ullman Stadium there in uptown New Orleans. It's the Rebels at the Green Wave. Tulane's catching a touchdown at home. People are going to be jacked up for it. Rebs on upset alert in New Orleans?
They better be. I mean, last week when we talked about the Tulane game, I talked up South Alabama, and then Tulane just chopped them down. It was a good first half, and the second half Tulane dominated. They've got the veteran quarterback in Michael Pratt. I would like to see a running back emerge. Remember last year, Tyjae Spears rushed for 1,581 yards. Last week, Hughes, I think, led the team with around 40 yards rushing. They need to get that going a little bit more. And Ole Miss is dangerous. When I talked to the coaching staff there, they went over with Jackson Dart. They say he's a vastly improved QB. Looked like it against Mercer, but that's Mercer. I think this is going to be a heck of a game. As you talked about, Tulane is very solid at home. A juiced-up crowd. This is going to be a great game. Mississippi better be on upset alert.
He is Phil Steele. Phil, sit tight. We're going to come back. Of course, our chats with Phil are brought to you by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. We got the night windows to pick up, A&M Miami. We got to talk the Cy-Hawk Trophy, and, of course, the big one with Texas at Alabama. We'll continue with Phil Steele. Stay with us here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorney, was actually over at Gordon's office earlier today. I want to remind you, all throughout the season, one of the very cool things that Gordon is doing is they are giving away autographed footballs, or footballs autographed by members of the G team. Of course, if you want to figure out how to enter or see how to enter, go to any of their social media at Get Gordon. You'll see it right there. You can getgordon.com. Harold Perkins, Garrett Nussmeier, Greg Brooks, Mason Smith, all the members of the G team have autographed these footballs, and all throughout the season, every single week, they're going to be giving away these autographed footballs. So go to their social media at Get Gordon. You can see how you can enter to win an autographed football by members of the G team. And, of course, as we tell you all the time, if you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com, or call 888-8888. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there in the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's always a thrill to have Phil Steele with us every Friday. No better way to set the table for the weekend. And Phil, as we move into the afternoon windows, my goodness, there are some good ones. And one that is going to be of great interest nationally is Texas A&M, coming off obviously a very disappointing season a year ago. The offense popped last weekend, but this is a different challenge. You're going down to Miami to take on the U. The Aggies are a 4-point road favorite, at least as I'm showing it right now. Texas A&M at Miami. This is a kind of prove-it type situation, Phil. What do we think about that one down in Miami?
Yeah, and every year, Matt, people ask me, they say, Phil, do you have a favorite team? And I go, yeah, I do. It's the ones I pick higher than everybody else. And these are two of my favorite teams this year. Texas A&M, Miami, both made my most improved list after having losing seasons last year. And, boy, didn't both look vastly improved? I mean, Tyler Van Dyke looked like the Tyler Van Dyke of 2021. They've got some running backs. And when I talked to Coach Cristobal and we went over the team, he was just buoyant about the offensive line and defensive line. Phil, we are so much bigger, stronger. And I thought their offensive line and defensive line both looked great last week, granted against Miami of Ohio. But Miami of Ohio is a very good MAC team. With Texas A&M, I had high expectations. They're my number one and most improved, number two surprise team. Connor Wegman scored touchdowns first 5 possessions last week, and they now have explosive receivers. Last year they had young receivers. Anaya Smith went out week 4. They're very explosive there. To me, the difference in this game, Matt, is that Mario Cristobal's had 2 great recruiting classes and 2 great things of transfers. Texas A&M's had 5 great recruiting classes, so a little bit better depth. I'm going to go with A&M to be able to go on the road and get the win. The numbers dropped down to 3.5 right now.
Wow.
So I like A&M minus 3.5, but I like both these teams this year.
Phil, let's move it over to the battle for the Cy-Hawk. It's Iowa at Iowa State. A lot of people are having fun with this, understandably, but of course the OC there, Ferentz, in Iowa's got to average something like 25 a game or whatever it is, the number to get his contract bonuses. So all eyes are on that Iowa offense, but Iowa at Iowa State. The Hawkeyes are a 3.5-point home dog, and another home dog here. What do we think about the battle for the battle there for the corn in the Midwest?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get to 24 points this week, that's for sure. Iowa State's got a hell of a defense, and last week they led Northern Iowa 30-0. Northern Iowa gained the majority of its yards, and it's all 9 points after the game was done. And with Iowa, they opened up the season against Utah State with touchdowns on their first 2 drives, and you're thinking, wow, these guys are going to be explosive, and then just 24 points for the game. Now, I got to hand it to Coach Ferentz, though. At the end of the game, his son's got the job on the line. They could easily have kicked the field goal and got to 27. He's not going to roll it up on anybody. They just played their game and did it. So just a first-class team that Iowa is. But when I look at this matchup, Matt, Iowa State lost their starting quarterback and their top receiver in August. Neither are playing here. That's a big edge to Iowa. Cade McNamara may be a little banged up, but I think he gives them a big edge. They've got the running backs. The defenses are both pretty close. I would put the defenses about even. Offense, big edge, believe it or not, to Iowa. I know they only scored 24 last week, but they're going to put some points on the board next week against Western. I like, Iowa had won 6 in a row in the series. They lost last year. They're playing with legitimate revenge. I like Iowa minus the points in this one. But 16 of the last 18 games in this series have gone under. So I know the total's low, but if you're going to play the total, play the under.
Phil, what was the bowl game? It was the Iowa bowl game. It was the Iowa-Kentucky bowl game last year. that the total was absurdly low, and you told us play the under anyway. And it wasn't it I think it was I think Iowa shut out Kentucky in the game, or maybe
21-0, and part of Iowa's scores, I think they have 1 offensive touchdown, 2 defensive touchdowns.
That's right. So I would never shy away from an under when talking about Iowa. No matter how low the number, it always seems possible. Let's talk about a couple. There's 3 big non-conference games in the Southeastern Conference that I want to get to here on the night window, Phil. We'll save Texas-Bama for last. It's the marquee game of the weekend and one of the marquee games of the season. But let's talk about Zach Arnett and his Mississippi State Bulldogs. Of course, they beat Southeastern this past weekend. Here comes Arizona, and Mississippi State's a 9-point home favorite. Phil, I look at Arizona as having been a really improved football team, and that number surprised me a little bit. Should Mississippi State kind of keep both eyes open there with Arizona coming in?
Yeah, I was surprised the number was 9 as well, and then my computer pops out and says Mississippi State's going to win this thing by 17. Remember last week my computer liked Florida State over LSU for crying out loud.
I wish I had listened to your computer last week.
And, when I look at the matchup, I remember last year's game. Mississippi State blew a couple of opportunities, but still went on the road and won 39-17. Love the run game. I mean, they ran for nearly 300 yards last week. With Marks, I like what Mike Wright brings to the equation, coming over from Vanderbilt at quarterback and being used to run, and he had 95 yards. Marks rushed for 127. Rogers is a dangerous passer, and I like the defense. I picked Mississippi State last in the SEC West, but it wasn't because of the talent. It was because of the schedule. They host LSU, and they host Alabama. And those are 2 games that'll be a dog, and I've got them a dog in their 4 road trips in the SEC. So that's the only reason I picked them last. I think they're an underrated team at this point, and I'm sticking with my computer. It calls for Mississippi State to win this thing by 17. I'm going to go with Mississippi State by 17.
Phil, when we were at Media Days as well, I filled on my ballot, and I had Mississippi State last as well. And it's been a big narrative out of Starkville where there's a lot of people there who are upset that State is regularly picked last, although they rarely ever finish last. For me, it was what you said. It was the schedule, and also I'm not sold on Zach Arnett yet as a head coach, and just an impossible situation replacing Mike Leach. But they could make a big statement here with Arizona coming in. Of course, LSU heads to Starkville next week for an 11 a.m. kickoff. So we'll talk about that one next week when Phil's with us. Okay, what about Auburn? Speak of impressive debuts, that offense, which had been stagnant for seemingly a decade, got rolling week 1 under Hugh Freeze. Now they got to go all the way out to the Bay Area. They take on Cal out there in Berkeley. Auburn is a 6.5-point road favorite against Cal. What do we think, Phil, here with the Tigers and the Bears?
Yeah, and this one I'm actually leaning with Cal plus the points. If you follow Justin Wilcox, you know that bet against him when he's a favorite, even though he won last week against North Texas, and bet on Justin Wilcox. Away dog, home dog, doesn't matter. He's a great underdog, and they're getting 6.5. Now, Cal's always known for its defense, and its defense played great last week. They held North Texas to 9 yards in the second half. But offensively, Cal, 669 yards. I'm still scratching my head over that. How's that possible? Ben Finley last year at NC State outplayed North Carolina's quarterback in the game, and so he's a capable QB. They've got an offense now, and with Auburn, if you watch that game against UMass last week, like I did intently, I liked UMass, and in the first half, Auburn only had like a 40-yard edge or a 50-yard edge in the first half. I thought UMass played them pretty much even up, and then they just wore down in the second half. Auburn was trying to score late, and they did score late. So I'm not quite sure Auburn's as good as the score would indicate last week because I always count good plays, bad plays in my head when I'm watching a game, and it was like 60-40 Auburn. Generally 59-14, you're at like 80-20 good plays. So I actually like Cal plus the points to potentially pull the upset here.
Okay. The last one I want to get to here is Texas-Bama. But before we get to that, let's remind people, Phil, about the Phil Steele Plus Tour, of course, which we love to remind them about every single week.
Yeah, and that's up right now on YouTube, and you go to philsteele.com, check out the blog, it'll point you there. And I give you this week 10 free plays with complete reasoning, take you through a tour of how to use Phil Steele Plus to its fullest, including last year. The tour is now 89 and 63 over the last 2 years. It includes the quick hitters and 3 more quick hitters for you this week. So 10 free plays. Just go check it out on YouTube. It's the Phil Steele Plus Tour with selections.
Did you say 89 and 63?
89-63 the last 2 years, yes.
Right.
Including, this year and last year.
I'll take 26 games over 500. I'm telling you, if you are not subscribed up to Phil Steele's YouTube channel, what are you doing? Go to his YouTube channel, just Phil Steele, Steele, and every Friday make sure you check out the Phil Steele Plus Tour and get those selections and understand how to use Phil Steele Plus. All right, Phil, the big one in all of college football this weekend, and maybe the biggest non-conference game of the year, Texas at Alabama. It was a thriller a year ago. Now the Crimson Tide get a night game in Tuscaloosa. Can the Longhorns do the unthinkable and pull the upset?
I'm going to say no, and here's the reasons why. To make a case for Texas, they're the more experienced team, and they should have beaten Alabama last year. Had yours not got injured in the first quarter, they probably do beat Alabama last year. Alabama needed a miracle comeback led by Bryce Young, and Bryce Young's no longer there. But here's why I like Alabama, minus the 7 in this one. And first of all, Alabama, if you follow them the last 2 years, they have really struggled on the road. They struggled at Texas. They struggled at Tennessee. They lost that game outright. They struggled at LSU, lost that game outright. Ole Miss, they only beat by 6 points on the road last year. And 2 years ago, they went into the swamp and were fortunate to come out with a 2-point win. They lost at A&M, and they were fortunate to come out of Auburn with a win. So they're just 2-7 against the spread as a home favorite. But at home, different animal. They're 14-5-1 against the spread, and in non-conference games against Power 5 teams, 13-2-1. Alabama's home crowd has had, huge lines in the past couple of years. They're a big favorite against everybody. Now they're a 7-point favorite. I think you're going to see an intense Alabama crowd here. And Steve Sarkisian is 0-3 against the spread as an away dog. And then you look at the talent on the field. I had major question marks about Alabama's quarterback situation, but Jalen Milroe looked great last week, not only running the football, but 3 touchdown passes, looked good throwing the ball deep. And whenever you take Nick Saban and underestimate him, like the number 4 in the AP poll to start out the year, the last time they were that, they ran the table and were national champs. I think they have a chance of doing that again this year. I like the Tide minus the 7. I think we're going to see a different animal. And last year, they were a 21-point road favorite. If they would have played them at home last year, they would have been a 28-point favorite. Now they're only laying 7.
He is Phil Steele, likes the Tide big over Texas on Saturday night there in Tuscaloosa. Of course, Phil's with us every single Friday. Our conversations with Phil are brought to you by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Of course, you can visit Gage online for a quote today at GageGenerators.com. That's G-A-G-E, GageGenerators.com. He is Phil Steele with us every Friday. Phil, we appreciate you as always. Enjoy the football weekend.
I will, and I'm going to call for LSU to get a win this week.
And Phil, if they don't get a win this week, brother, we may not be doing a show next week, man, because this place might have burned to the ground if Grambling comes in and beats the Tigers. Thank you, Phil.
All right, have a good one, Matt. Great talking to you.
You as well. We'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Weekend is upon us, but don't let this opportunity go by. If you own a commercial building, reach out to ProCharge. Do it today. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com. Go to the website, scroll down, you'll see the form, how you can contact us, fill it out. They'll be in touch with you. If you have a commercial building, it doesn't matter if you drive an EV, doesn't matter if you like EVs, doesn't matter at all. The fact of the matter is manufacturing of EVs has gone up. Users of EVs have gone up. They got to have a place to charge their vehicles. So your business becomes, and this becomes an amenity for your employees, an amenity for your customers. This becomes a magnet for people who drive EVs because their dash will tell them, their GPS will tell them where the nearest charger is, and they'll come to your business. ProChargeEV.com. Learn more. It can also become a revenue generator, passive revenue. ProChargeEV.com. ProChargeEV.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Running Boards marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Start your day with news and newsmakers. Start your day with traffic, weather, and local stories that are important to you. Kickstart your day every day. Mornings with Brian Haldane from 6 to 9 a.m. Weekdays on Talk 107.3.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along here. Football Friday edition of AFR. NFL Sundays get kicked off. Saints hosting the Tennessee Titans. We got Tigers, Grambling. Got to get the football tailgate open for next week. Got to get the football tailgate open redone. Coben Leindecker in studio with us here for our football tailgate segment from Chris's Specialty Foods. Normally it's, how are you, dude?
Good, all good. Glad to be here.
Thanks, man. We appreciate you for coming in. Always got great ideas, recipe ideas, what to throw on the grill, what you're going to be doing when you tailgate out there for the Tigers or for the Hoodats or for your game watch party. Been doing the tailgate segment for a lot of years as it's evolved. So LSU Tigers playing the Tigers, the Grambling Tigers. I don't think we're eating Tigers. So what you got in mind for this week, man?
Yeah, so I went a little appetizer theme this week, so easy stuff to do. So First thing I brought was our crawfish bread on French bread. It's a cream cheese and cheddar cheese spread mixed with a topping of Louisiana crawfish tails and a spinach topping on top. It's delicious.
So if someone wanted to make that, how easy is that to do it at the house?
It's very easy. Our prep time on that's like 10 minutes. It's pretty simple.
So you get the bread, and what's the spread again?
Yeah, so we have a cream cheese and cheddar chease spread on it, and then
you just go get cream cheese, cheddar, throw it in a bowl, mix it together, and.
Well, there's some other stuff I can't.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
And then on the topping is a Louisiana crawfish and spinach topping.
So is that that's crawfish tails, that's spinach, and you mix together and you just spread it all on, then you bake it?
Yep.
Cool.
Just pop it in the oven, and once the bread is crispy, it's ready to go.
So how long does that take to cook?
10 minutes.
Cool. So 10 minutes. So the one, if you're watching right there, this one is not cooked yet. So you would just take that, put it in the oven, 10 minutes, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, you're done. So, and that's pretty cool. I mean, that could probably be a meal, but you could also just slice that up into 5-6 different pieces and let people munch on it as an appetizer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool for a party. So what would you do at a tailgate, though, if you don't have an oven at a tailgate?
Yeah, so you can actually, I've done plenty of them on a smoker. If you just pop it in the smoker on the little top rack where it's just surrounded by heat, it gets crispy in like 5 minutes.
So the bread will still get crispy even on a smoker. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. So crawfish bread is one. Now, what is in the box?
That is our Boudin King Cake. And
oh, Lord.
We always,
thank God Theriot ain't here. Not yet, anyway.
We always do. So, of course, we did the purple and gold themed this week. And that's a homemade bread that we do. And inside, it's got our house-made Boudin with pepper jack cheese. And then once you heat it up, then you do our, in the center, in that cup, that's our special homemade syrup sauce that goes on top. It's the perfect sweet and savory.
Okay, so that's the question here with Boudin King Cake. So this is, that's actually purple, the purple and gold, that's like sugar, like you would have on top of a king cake, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's like king cake topping.
Oh, yeah.
King cake bread.
Yep.
But instead of a filling that would be like cream cheese or some like strawberry or something like that, you have Boudin in the middle.
Yeah, it's our Boudin and pepper jack cheese blend.
So that's another thing that comes ready to eat?
Yeah, it's already pre-made. You just have to pop it in the oven, heat it up, and it's ready to go.
How long do you heat that up for?
20 minutes.
Okay.
350, 20 minutes.
350, 20. So would that be the same thing if someone comes by and gets that for the tailgate?
Yep, it's something you can easily throw in. Also, you could do it in the smoker. Just anything that'll get that heated up in the middle, and once it's hot, it's ready.
So it's already cooked. You just got to heat it.
Yep.
So even if you don't have a smoker, if you just have a barbecue pit, you can put it on the grill and get it hot.
Absolutely.
Or a burner, I would imagine as well. People have their their burners out there.
Yep.
There was they talked about doing like a burn ban in the state, but they reversed it for tailgating. So if you are going to be out for LSU and Grambling or for Southern this weekend, you could be or Tulane down in New Orleans, you could be because y'all do have the Lakeview store as well. So wait, do you have all this stuff at the Lakeview store as well?
Yep, all both of these items will be in all stores all weekend.
Okay, so that's in Baton Rouge. You've got the Millerville location, and then you've got Airline Highway in Prairieville, and then there's Lakeview down in New Orleans. So for everybody who's going to if for our 100.3 ESPN New Orleans audience, if you're going to make it out to Ullman for Tulane Ole Miss, or if you're just going to be tailgating or partying, make sure you get to the Lakeview location of Chris's. You can pick up one of the Boudin King Cakes as well. So is that like how many Boudin King Cakes do you like? Is that something that's easy to churn? Like if y'all run low on supply or something like that?
Yeah, it's we got about 50 something of them for the weekend. But yeah, of
at
course,
each store or total?
Total.
So you've only got like 50 of these total for the whole weekend across all three stores.
Yeah. So that I would get there fast. They're probably gonna go pretty fast.
Probably gonna go pretty fast. Are those like you made 50 total? So is that like really hard to make then?
Yeah. So like I said, we hand make that. That's not a pre-made dough. So we originally start from scratch and hand make our dough. So it's a process.
Okay. Chris's Specialty Foods, of course. ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com is the website. What else do y'all have going on online? I know like whenever we get to holiday season, we talk a lot about how you can like make the entire Thanksgiving meal and all that stuff. But what are y'all seeing right like this time of year?
Yeah, absolutely. So with football season starting up, the weather hopefully dropping soon.
Yeah.
Everybody getting out and grilling. So our stuffed pork tenderloins, our deboned stuffed chickens, of course our hand cut steaks. So anything grilling right now, our ribeye burgers, that's what we're seeing an uptick in right now.
Great time, man. I know a lot of people are going to be tailgating. It's one of the things, like as disappointing as the game was last week, and people are kind of bumming a little bit. It's the home opener for LSU. Absolutely. It's an opportunity to go out and party, and LSU Tigers should have a relatively easy day on Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. So go get a win against Grambling. Go have a day and have some fun and cook and tailgate if you want. Chris's can always help you out. Just go to ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com. So it's back-to-back S's, ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com. If you want to check out all this stuff. The menu's all there. And as we mentioned, you can check out more about each of the stores. Go get those Boudin King Cakes. That ain't so you got 50 of them total across all three stores. They're not going to last. So if you want one for your tailgate, get by any of the Chris's locations. Pick them up. All right, give me a thought on the game tomorrow. All right, so in full disclosure here, so aside from your work at Chris's, you obviously you coach high school football as well.
Yes.
All right, so it didn't go great for the Dunham Tigers last week, I heard.
It was a shootout.
Shootout.
We lost by 6.
It's all right. Well, look, it's all right, man. Well, we know, look, Theriot comes in here. Houston Terriot's on the Dunham Tigers as well. So we're pulling. Look, we cheer for all the high school teams when everybody do really well. but I hope y'all do as well. So who do y'all have tonight?
We played last night. We played Live Oak.
Yeah. Oh, y'all got delayed by lightning.
Yeah, we won 24-7.
Congrats. That's awesome. So you don't have to run out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I am, because I'm on the call tonight for Catholic and Warren Easton.
That's going to be
so
a dogfight.
I am, shut up. I'm dusting off, I would say dusting off the old headset. So I called Catholics games from 2008 to 2015. And so it's been 8 years since I've called a game. I have no idea how this is going to go. I hope I remember how to speak. You got any tips for me about Warren Easton? You know anything about him?
They went. Nobody gave them a chance last week. They went into Ruston. Ruston was a very good team that nobody thought Warren Easton had a chance, and they went and beat them. So, they got cats that can go on all levels. So Catholic's gonna have their hands full tonight.
Awesome. Get out of here. Get out. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for coming in, Coben. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Of course, Chris's Specialty Foods. Check them out, 3 locations. ChrisSpecialtyFoods.com. One thing that's changed for me since my last time I called a game, I had LASIK. Actually, next week, September 11th, will be my 5-year LASIK anniversary from the Williamson Eye Center. I was actually at the Williamson Eye Center earlier today. They've even got a new lens implant, which is an option alongside LASIK as well. So if you want to learn more, go to williamsoneye.com or call 924-2020. 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Hour 2, Theriot next.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. But not just windows, doors, siding. Been telling you also now shutters as well. Those indoor shutters, those interior shutters, Relief Windows does all of it. So go to the website. You can hit the shutters tab at the top, and you can see and learn more about the shutters that they do. Shutters can make your home more energy efficient. They're not going to yellow or chip or crack or peel or any of that stuff. They come with a 20-year warranty as well. You got to learn more over at Relief Windows. It's ReliefWindows.com. I tell you all the time, yes, they are windows, door, siding, but at Relief Windows, they are also experience, quality, and service. That's what you always get. That's what they do better than anybody else, always, is the service. Brandon Holly just demands it. He expects everyone who works for Relief Windows, everyone who wears that logo, to achieve that standard. It's a limited lifetime warranty on those shutters at Relief Windows.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Start your day with news and newsmakers. Start your day with traffic, weather, and local stories that are important to you. Kickstart your day every day. Mornings with Brian Haldane from 6 to 9 a.m. Weekdays on Talk 107.3.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the...
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. For the second time in a row, Team USA will not play for gold at the FIBA World Cup, losing to Germany in the semifinals today, 113-111. The undersized U.S. team cut a 12-point deficit to 1 in the late stages, but couldn't finish the comeback. They will play Canada in the bronze medal game on Sunday. The Lions are 1-0 after spoiling the party in Kansas City. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum says it came down to physical and mental toughness.
You go back to a decision they made a couple of years ago. They took Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase. Very controversial, but when you could control the line of scrimmage, you could win on the road. You can make your quarterback very comfortable, which he did in Jared Goff.
Mike Tannenbaum. Raiders defensive end Chandler Jones is out for Sunday's opener against the Broncos. Jones is still away from the team after unleashing a string of social media posts critical of the organization. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts tells SiriusXM's MLB Network Radio outfielder Mookie Betts might be able to play by Monday. Betts fouled a ball off his left foot last night against the Marlins.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wake pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe.
Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Down One Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. Is that them? We're here. Glad you are as well. Make it a good one. Yeah,
That's them.
I already got them. See, that's why I didn't want you to surprise me, because I already have those, and I wouldn't want you to get me something that I already have and think you're doing good, or get me something that I'd hate.
And I didn't.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Theriot went by Ruckus earlier today, and he was going to get me shoes, and I said, "Don't surprise me. I don't want you to do that."
I was going to go buy you a pair of shoes, and you said no.
That's a half-truth.
Paulie.
That's a half-truth.
If I said, hey, man, I'm going to Ruckus, can I buy you a pair of shoes? What would be your response?
So that's not exactly how it went. His mic's not on. There it is.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Okay. Now, Paulie, so part of the deal that we have with Ruckus in our agreement for advertising is a trade agreement. For those that don't know, trade is non-cash. It's trade. So, like, basically, in lieu of payment, I have credit that I could use at the store. Theriot was going to use my trade to get me shoes.
Can I buy you a pair of shoes with your money?
And I was like, no.
Yeah, I would say no on that one.
Thank you. That's the point. Okay.
I left that out.
Yeah, you left that out.
I
Now,
guess
if you were just
that's
spending,
important.
if you were spending your money and you were going to get me a gift, I'd be like, awesome, thank you so much. I would be very grateful for that. But you were trying to spend my money on shoes, and I was not going to be okay with that.
I got something for you. Not right now, though.
Yeah, okay.
Next segment.
It's the brown Ruckus bag. I know what it is.
Got a little something.
I'm so excited about it.
Something's coming.
Excited about this day here. The vibes are good. You know, look, we were here last Friday. It was good. And then Saturday came and it was football.
It was
and then
great.
Sunday came and it was like, yes, we finally get to watch LSU play. And for the first half, it was a little frustrating, but they still led at halftime. You're like, we got this. Let's just finish some drives. And then the third quarter came, and you're going to the fourth, and then Brian Thomas drops a pass, and then Malik Neighbors slips. There's an interception. I'm like, what the hell happened? And the vibes were not good after. They've not been good for a while, but I'm feeling good about today, though.
You know, the national narrative and then like social, people that really didn't lock in on the game, and I'm not mad at them for it because if you look at it, you know, without like watching the game, it's a beatdown at the end of it. But man, there was
fourth quarter got away.
Well, I would say LSU was
a better team in the first half.
Definitely a better team in the first half, leaving 14 points on the board.
LSU led by 3 at half. They got 4 defensive stops and had 2 drives inside the 10 where they didn't score. LSU was better in the first half. But that don't matter. It's a 4-quarter game. You got to go play 4 quarters, and Florida State was much better in the fourth quarter, and that's why it went the way it did. So
I think we need to take the air conditioners out of the helmets. That's what I think. Soft.
Other than that, how was your week?
Well, you just kind of hit the nail on the head. My week was great.
Good.
The whole thing. The vibe.
Love it.
The weather was cooling down just a touch, and I was starting.
Some rain.
So this week has been really good. We got a hopefully monstrous announcement next week. Something that I've been waiting. Yeah, like it's a really.
Do I know about it?
Yeah, you know about it a little bit, but you've probably forgotten about it because it's taken so long to get done. But something I've been working really hard on for about a year, and I'm hoping to be able to announce this next week.
On air?
Yes. I'm going to announce it on air.
Okay.
I'm going to announce it on air next week. Okay. And so that I think has been settled and finished as of today or yesterday. So that's good. And, you know, the Dunham Tigers played yesterday. We won.
Congrats. Big win for Houston Theriot and the boys. Beat Live Oak.
So,
shout out.
Yeah, Houston's turned over a new leaf. He wants to be drippy, which I love. See, that was me. I was the shoes and the chain and I'm big on that.
Yeah.
He's never been big on that.
No.
Ever. And it kind of bothered me a little bit. Now he is.
And you walk in here wearing a white T-shirt and jeans.
I got him the panda cleats, Jordans.
Oh.
Super drippy.
Oh. What you can do, get him customs for every game?
He's got the mask. He's got the pad that covers your spine for no reason.
He doesn't need it all, yeah.
No.
But just because it looks cool?
Bro, it's good. Anyway, so yeah, man, it's good.
He's got the low back bag. He's got a visor.
So they played last night, and I would like to talk about the game a little bit. And
okay.
So here's my letter.
Okay.
Dear lightning delays.
Heard about that.
I've been playing sports for my entire life. I was the type of kid that was always outside, so like when a thunderstorm would come through, it meant like more fun games to play. It's rainy, you know, thundering. It's just a different like setting. You play King of the Hill in the rain, it's fun. It's muddy. You know, I don't know if you ever did the boat races in the gutters, you know, like down the drains in your street where you put like a leaf and you race it down to the gutter. Like we used to do that in the rain.
Got it.
It was fun. Mud football.
Mud football did that for sure.
Yeah.
Did that for sure.
We would, I'm not going to say, well, I'll say names. Patrick Coogan. Shout out, Cougar. I think Kurt Ainsworth may have participated in this from time to time. Chris Pixley.
Yeah.
Catholic guy. We would ride the rapids in our ditch behind Coogan's house. So we'd have like a little like makeshift boat, and when it would rain a whole lot, we'd hop in and ride the rapids in the ditch. I'm sure that was real sanitary, but we did it.
Sure it was. Just rainwater, never hurt nobody.
Thunderstorms and lightning were just a part of it and actually added to it. Fun. That being said, I can say with absolute certainty that I have never seen a lightning strike. I've never seen lightning strike anything in person. I've seen trees that have been hit by lightning.
Right.
I've never seen it strike.
Yes.
Not even close, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard it, but I've never seen it. I've sat through more pointless lightning delays than you can imagine because a strike was reported within 10 miles. 9.9 miles away, shut it down, 30 minutes, bang it. 29 minutes later, lightning strike, 9.9 miles away, shut it down, 30 more minutes. On the 29th minute again, lightning strike, 9.9 miles away, shut it down, 30 more minutes. Not even raining, not even a cloud in the sky. Stupid lightning delays. The stupid lightning detectors are the worst invention ever. Whoever invented a lightning detector can kick rocks, okay? Last night, we sat at beautiful Tiger Park over there off of Segan Lane till midnight, watching the Dunham Tigers spank the Live Oak Eagles. My bad. It was another spectacular performance by freshman phenom Elijah Haven. Shout out. Definitely worth the price of admission. If you guys go see this kid play, you need to do it. The game was great, but the stupid delays made the experience kind of suck. I'm going to be honest. Now, I'd like to talk about the dumb hydration breaks every 6 minutes. Okay. I totally understand keeping the kids hydrated, and I am all for that. I myself drink a Mai High, and like I'm a hydration guy. I do that every day. Drink a lot of water. I think hydrating is important. It's good for your skin, helps you sleep better.
We got a gallon of water. I'm already at 7 p.m.
Flushes the system.
Oh, yeah.
Water's great.
The more you hydrate, the more you sweat stuff out.
There we go. So I think it's good. So I'm for these hydration breaks, assuming that it's hot outside. A comfortable 70 degrees doesn't call for water breaks every 6 minutes. Okay? Hydrate prior to the game. Don't drink Bang Energy or Cokes before the game. You're going to cramp up. It's really that simple. A quick shot of water during the game does nothing for hydration. Okay?
That's true.
High school coaches, call Matt Flynn, get you some Mai High the day before, and you'll be just fine, okay? While everyone else is trying to speed up games, the LHSAA is doing their best to slow them down. Last night, although the outcome was great, big victory for Dunham, it kind of sucked.
Yeah. LHSAA leadership is awesome, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love my guy, Eddie. I think he's great. It's not just Eddie, though. There's more than just that. We need to speed things up a little bit, fellas, okay? Sincerely, Ryan.
That's great. All right, it's after further review. Hey, we're brought to you by Traction. What do you do at Traction? You got some hydration over there?
100%. You hydrate. Yeah.
I mean, you know what's cool about Traction? When you go in, there's that water fountain right there in the front, and they have the thing on the water fountain where, like, you can push the little button on the water fountain so it comes out the spout, or if you have a jug, you just put it right there, and it drips from the top and fills up your jug. They got everything over there at Traction.
We're saving the earth. You know, we're saving the earth one bottle at a time.
Got everything over at Traction. World-class trainers, world-class facility. It's like a big shout-out to Mac, Ryan, RC, Eddie, Cressy, everybody, man, over at Traction. You've basically invested in bringing a world-class facility to South Louisiana. The facility itself, like the bricks and the mortar and the turf fields and everything, but also world-class trainers, a world-class physical therapy clinic as well. You know, you choose, if you need PT, you choose where you go for PT. So if your doctor prescribes physical therapy, or if you feel like you need it, call Traction Elite Physical Therapy. Same campus right there in Burbank and Baton Rouge. It's Traction. TractionSports.com. TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. And hydrated.
Definitely hydrated.
Definitely hydrated. You think you can make a call to the LHSAA and get that hydration timeout changed? The hydration timeout feels a lot like wearing masks during COVID. It didn't really work. It was just for the optics. Here we go. We're going to do a hydration timeout. Like, it really doesn't.
Let's see if we can make this game a little bit longer.
Got it.
Right? Yeah. Hydration. Yeah, but Coach, we just had a timeout and a 30-minute lightning delay. Hydration. What?
Oh, good.
And look, and of course, it's like 11:30 at night, right? I'm starving. I've already sucked down a couple burgers. The pits, all they got left is some nachos and some Skittles.
Some Skittles, yeah.
Like, that's it. Oh, man. I stuck it out. Stuck it out, though.
It's a tough situation. You could have DoorDashed some food to the stadium, I'm sure. Think about that next time.
Oh. I'd be him.
They'd all be looking at you like, this guy, what an idea.
He did it.
He did it. He figured it out.
He figured it out.
He cracked the code. All right, we'll do Kick Rocks next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, you know what today is?
Today's Friday.
Yeah. And it's the day before the first what?
Oh, home opener.
Yeah. So do you know what that means where the LSU Tigers are staying tonight?
Renaissance.
At the Renaissance Hotel.
Do you think they're there eating at Tallulah?
I don't think that they're going to be eating in Tallulah.
They might.
No, I'm sure they're going to have their team meal catered in one of the big ballrooms. But I don't think that they're all going to be in Tallulah. But there's going to be a lot of people in Tallulah tonight. You better believe it. Shout out to Chef Jason Hebert. The Baton Rouge Epicurean Society had their Fête Rouge event a couple weeks ago. Chef Jason Hebert, gold medal, Tallulah restaurant. Been trying to tell y'all, it ain't just like buffet food in a hotel. Like, this is a casual, upscale dining experience. Get on by tonight. You might see BK walking through the lobby tonight.
You might.
You might see Harold Perkins walk through the lobby at the Renaissance Hotel. Home of the Tigers, Fridays before home games. The Renaissance Hotel.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat. I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding.
But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
All them shows in you, and you got blues falling out your glass. Your man don't want you in the club, when you probably starting fights in the club. You come through and you're in a car, all in you might know you a star.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Hey, did you Saints season opener on Sunday? Did you happen to see they've dropped a hype video? The Saints have. Everyone's doing hype videos now. The University of Texas has one. The Undertaker is voicing it. He lives in Austin. Apparently, is like a big Texas fan, something like that. The Saints dropped the hype video. You know who's narrating it? Check it out right there. Pull it up, Paul. No, I don't need the audio. Look, check it out.
Oh, Juvie the Great.
It's Juvie, bro.
Juvie the Great. Oh, man.
They got Juvie in front of the Rebirth statue, emceeing the Saints hype video. Then Deuce comes in, and they got Steve Gleason on it as well. Like not Steve Gleason block. I think they have a clip of blocking the pump, but they actually have Steve Gleason there. Like, and so they have his computerized voice on there, which is, there's the Gleason block, which is awesome. Anyway, check it out if you haven't seen it. But man, I'm pretty hyped, dude. Got Juvie. Like, who else could get Juvie to do their hype video?
What song's playing in the background?
I don't think there's a song playing in the background. I think it's just like instrumental stuff.
Oh, what if slow motion was playing in the background?
No, it's definitely not slow motion playing in the background. I don't think it's juvenile music playing. I mean, well, look, let's see, pull it up, Muse. Let's see, you can pull it up now.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, see, it's just like, they're playing. Oh, that's a weird. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. What you think? What you think?
I really like it.
Do you?
Yeah. I like hype videos.
Will Stout changed the world, bro. Didn't he? Who did hype videos before 2019 LSU? Seriously.
I don't think anybody really did.
I mean, I'm not going to say nobody did, but nobody did these dramatically produced hype videos until 2019 LSU. Now everybody does it for everything all the time.
I like them. We should do hype videos for the show.
Who's going to produce the hype videos for the show?
Will Stout.
Oh, will you get on that? You get Will Stout to produce hype videos for the show. We'll play him every single week.
I think it'd be cool.
I think it would be great as well. I would really look forward to having Will Stout do that, our hype videos for the show. You know what else I'm looking forward to?
What's that?
It's football weekend. You want to know why?
Why?
I'm going to bet on it at DraftKings. You want to bet on college football? Yep. Week 1 of the NFL? DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Official sports betting partner of the NFL. How you like that?
I like it.
Like it a lot. You know what you'll like even better?
Winning money.
Yes. But you know what you'll like even better?
What?
Free bets.
Free money.
Bonus bets. How about this? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you're a new customer, make a $5 NFL bet. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. One word. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 NFL bet. They'll give you $200 in bonus bets instantly.
You should put that. You should put that all on Nebraska.
What? Okay, this is an NFL bet.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. But and they give you the $200 in bonus bets, which I guess you could put on Nebraska if you want. You can do the bonus bets on whatever you want. How about that?
That's what I would do.
So you can download the app right. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 NFL bet right now. They'll give you, boom, $200 in bonus bets instantly. Then take that $200 in bonus bets.
Put it on Nebraska.
You're dead wrong on that, by the way. Colorado going roll. You see, I get it. All y'all Johnny-come-latelys now. I get it.
I love Prime. I love Colorado. I'm just taking Nebraska.
Well,
actually, I'm not because I really don't bet. I tried to bet last year. Remember, I called you about it.
If you felt that strongly, you could download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You could use the promo code Baton Rouge, make a $5 bet on the NFL, and you would instantly get $200 in bonus bets. That's only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football. Terms. License partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. What are you doing?
Put it on Nebraska.
Why?
They're going to win.
You think Nebraska beats Colorado?
And they're going to cover for sure. I think they could win.
The line's 3.5.
Yeah, they're going to win.
You think Nebraska beats Colorado?
Yes.
Nebraska's offense is poo. They can't move the ball.
They can run the ball.
They cannot move the ball.
Yeah, they can run the ball. TCU ran the ball on them.
Right.
They can run the ball.
And TCU ran a spread offense where you had to defend the entire field. If Nebraska wants to play in a phone booth, okay, then you stack the box and you put a hat on the hat. That's what Nebraska's going to try to do.
Yeah.
They're going to try to shorten the game. I got bad news for Nebraska, though. They do not have enough athletes to match Colorado on the outside, and so Colorado's just going to keep scoring.
I mean, look, maybe. I'm going. I think the Cornhuskers, they're back, bro.
I think we're going to get to.
Cornhuskers.
They lost last week to Minnesota.
Cornhuskers are back.
What
Bro.
do you mean they're back?
They're back.
Oh, like Texas is back. You're going to pick Texas to beat Alabama? I can't wait for our pick'em segment.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the score is on all that stuff.
On the pick'em?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to it. Oh, let's do Kick Rocks.
Yeah.
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks. With shoes from Ruckus.
Yep. The Kansas City Chiefs
Ooh.
can kick rocks.
All of them are like just Kadarius Toney?
So Kadarius Toney stinks.
Yeah. Stay hot, Florida Gators.
Take the ring out of your nose too, by the way. Like you can't do anything that draws attention to yourself from a drip standpoint if you're gonna lose games for your team. All right? Let me just say that, Kadarius.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
You've got one of the best defensive players in the world sitting in the suite watching you lose to the Detroit Lions.
Like, would you really be okay with him being in the suite? Like, how did he get to go up in the suite? I'm not good with that.
Not good with it either, but it's the Chiefs' fault. You expect the guy. Now, listen. I think Pat took a pretty team-friendly deal. I think Kelsey took a pretty team-friendly deal, and I get it. We've seen that work with the Patriots. Chris Jones, he's not taking the team-friendly deal, and you know what? I don't blame him.
Can I ask?
Get your bag,
You
bro.
think Patrick Mahomes taking a $450 million deal is team-friendly?
I think it's team-friendly.
It's not.
How many years? How many years?
It was 10.
I think it's.
at the time, it was,
I think at the end of that
he reset
deal,
the market.
I think at the end of that deal.
But he's never going to play out that entire deal. They're going to redo his deal. He's never going to be under that contract for 10 years.
Looking at Joe's deal, which we're going to give him a hug in a minute, I think Pat's deal is team-friendly.
It's Patrick, too, by the way.
Well, we call him Pat.
No. Patrick. His mother went on social media, like, his name is Patrick. Stop calling him Pat. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's Patrick Mahomes.
Apparently, we don't play defense in the United States because the Team USA team lost to Germany.
Oh
Get on
my
down
God.
the road and kick rocks.
How does that happen?
You know the worst part about that is there were people I was looking at social media like, is this the next dream team? Like they were trying to tout
What?
this. Yes.
No.
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
That's a joke.
They stink.
They absolutely Germany? Are you kidding me? This isn't hockey. Grow up,
Who
you guys.
played on this team?
They had some decent players. They had some good players. Good players on the team.
Whatever.
And then
What an
can
embarrassment.
I give a couple hugs
You
and
do
then I
whatever
need to
you
make
want.
a
It's your segment.
and make a
It's your segment.
presentation.
Your segment there, buddy.
I want to give a hug to Joey B.
That boy.
For getting the bag.
Got his bag.
So what was it? 5 years?
Yes.
270 something.
5 years, $275 million, with $219 $2.01 million guaranteed.
That's really good for Joe. I mean, that is really
$219
awesome.
guaranteed.
So happy.
Why didn't he
for
take
him.
a team-friendly deal?
So happy for Joe. I love that. I think
I
it's
hate
great.
when people yell about like what money other people should take. Like if you're yelling at a player for not taking a team-friendly deal, like shut up. You're an idiot.
Because
There's no chance in hell you would
No.
say you would go to work and say, "Pay me less money."
You know what? We're good.
Yeah, I don't need. I'm the best at what I do, but don't pay me what I'm worth.
I want
Pay
the company to grow.
Pay me less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Pay,
good.
pay me less. That's what we should do.
Give it to the other guy.
Yeah, pay me less so you can hire other people.
Yeah.
Is what you should do.
Just give it to him.
Get out of here, dorks.
Now, Joe got the bag, out of boy. And
How
then-
much money's too much? Not for you to decide. Shut up.
And I'd also like to give a hug to Coach Kim Mulkey for getting her bag, too.
She got her bag.
Shout out. So,
How about it?
3.2 a year, something like that?
3.2 per.
3.2 a year.
How about it? And she's underpaid, too.
Oh, yeah, she's on it. 10 years. So we got her. So she's here. Shout out to Coach Mulkey.
She's not going to coach 10 more years, huh? You think? What do you think? She's
mean,
61. You think she'll go 10 more?
Yeah, man, she's got some energy, bro.
I'm not saying she don't have energy. I mean, you know her well. Like, does she want to coach 10 more years? I don't know.
We've never had that discussion,
Okay.
but there's a lot of want to in there.
I hope she does.
You know.
Come on.
And now
Shoot,
I'd like-
Saban's 71.
Yeah.
He's still rolling.
He's rolling. So I'd also like to make a presentation.
Okay.
As everyone knows, this segment is sponsored by the great people at Ruckus. Ruckus103.com. Go check them out at ruckus103.com. They had a raffle for some really unique and awesome shoes.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this for about a month and a half. Like
Nike announced the drop weeks and weeks ago.
We
knew it was coming. I've been checking every day.
Yeah. Everybody has, actually.
I know.
And
if that's not them, I'm going to be really pissed at you. Like, if you're playing a joke on me and that's not them, I'm going to be really upset.
so I went by today.
Okay.
Because I heard that it was time.
Yeah.
And I got you a little something.
I hope if that's not them,
I won the raffle.
Okay.
I won the raffle.
If it's not them, I'm
Let me
going to be
just
really
say.
mad at you. Like, if you're playing a joke on me, because I've literally been waiting on these for how many?
It's been over a month.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
more than I think it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
When I first sent you the screen grab of them.
Before you open them, let me say this.
I was gonna say,
Stop. I go into Ruckus probably once every 2 or 3 weeks. There's a ton of new shoes.
I love it so much.
You need to go.
Yeah.
Take some time. There's a lot of new stuff in there right now. So
Okay.
anyway.
Ruckus on Jones Creek and in Lafayette. Shout out to our listeners, ESPN 1037 in Lafayette. Okay.
Yeah. All right, check this
Can I
out.
get like a drum roll or something?
Just do it slow.
It's them. Okay, good. It's them. It is them. I can confirm.
Open it up.
Well, I'm waiting to see if Muse gets a drum roll. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Whenever you're ready, Muse. No worries.
Yeah, we're good.
We have an hour and 28 minutes of the show. It's a long. Is this a 10-minute drum roll? Oh, just turn it off. Muse. Fine. Don't worry, Muse. We're good. Don't worry. You're killing my moment.
They're so much better in person.
They're glorious. I see blue. He's glorious. Check them out, bro. Oh my God, they're so fire.
Bro, they're so good.
The purple suede dunks with the gold gum bottom. Are you kidding me? That is freaking fire. Look at those SBs. SB is skateboard, by the way, for those that don't know. And as I've learned, of course, if there's orange on them, like on the tongue or on the lace, that means that they're a skate shop exclusive. I mean, you cannot get them online. You can only get them at a skate shop like Ruckus. So these are. I've been waiting for this drop for months, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm like
Shout out to the guys at Ruckus, man.
Thank you to Ruckus.
Yep.
I'm genuinely super duper phenomenally pumped. Like, this might be the most excited I've ever been for a pair of shoes. Like it hasn't been often that like I've eyed a drop for a very long time and been like, I have to have this.
No, you're normally the guy that just goes online and buys a pair that they like. Like
Yes.
you don't like wait for a pair.
Oh my God, but that's like the first time where I've been like super 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 stoked about it. So I'm glad you didn't play a joke on me.
No, man.
Because like if you had played a joke on me and this wasn't them, like I was gonna be so
It'd been like some British Knights or something. Like you'd have been pissed.
LA gear.
Some LA gear.
That is awesome. awesome. Shout out to Ruckus. Ronnie, Paul, and the crew over there are awesome. It's just such a great place. I love going in there. If you need shoes, you want some cool kicks, go get them. The Ruckus gear's there. It's ruckus103.com, R-U-K-U-S, ruckus103.com. Do not go to Ruckus thinking you're going to be able to buy these shoes because that's an allocation. It's almost like whiskey, where they get their allocation, it's allocated, and then it's gone. Then they're gone. It's gone. So,
but there's a lot. I'm serious. When you walk in, you're going like, oh damn, look at those.
Yeah.
Look at those. Look at those.
Go look for everything else.
Yeah.
Not those. Okay, I'm fired up. It's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers in the pros, and I want to get to a little bit of what Dennis Allen had to say. He met with reporters today. Final media availability before the Saints opener on Sunday in the Dome against Titans. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them, agent225.com, agent225.com. There's great news if you're looking to sell your home. Great news. We are currently in the Baton Rouge area in a seller's market. People have realized, home buyers have realized that interest rates are what they are. They're not going to dramatically reduce. And so people who need to buy a home to move on with their life for whatever reason that may be are like, okay, we're going to go ahead and buy and you'll refi later. So it is right now a situation where you have buyers looking and there's not enough inventory to match. Well, here's one that's on the market now. This is gorgeous. It's in Zachary, High Plains Drive in Zachary. Coming up on Saturday, they have an open house from 2 to 4 p.m. Darren's got it on his social media. Gorgeous property with a big lake behind the house as well. A little cabana back there. Really cool. Check it out. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there in the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor, so you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast? All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front to back boat service.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
So you best stay 86, cause I be coming through with this separating bricks. You gotta
missing you, cause I have too many clips. It done been too many times I got to shred the cross. Them niggas was trying, but I was bringing them all.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Hey, what do you think about tomorrow? LSU against Grambling. Who do you think is going to win that one?
The Tigers.
Good call. Really smart. Speaking of Tigers, every day Muso does this. It's a little segment we like to call Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Y'all mentioned it a little bit at the end of the last segment there, but Joey B got all the bags.
Yeah,
highest paid player now in NFL history. 5-year extension, $275 million. 219 of that guaranteed in. They threw in the penny as well.
That's not a penny.
I thought it said $219.01 million.
That's $219 million.
They stylized it like a penny, though. They did. They stylized it like a penny. Anyway,
Muso, I'll explain to you.
I stylized it like that.
Muso, that's what you do. Like think of it like this. When it's like 1.3 billion, right? That doesn't mean 1 billion 3 pennies.
Well, no, that's 1,300,000. But why would you not?
1,300,000,000.
Yeah.
But if it was 1.03 billion, that's not 1 billion 3 cents. That's 1 billion 30 million.
Yeah, it's stylized weird though. Like
Muso, that's literally how you formatically write down amounts if you're not going to do the entire dollar amount.
I liked how they announced it like a minute or two into the Chiefs game in the opener. Thought that was really good, actually. That was a power move by the Bengals.
Pretty shady.
I liked it a lot.
Pretty shady.
Ben Baby covers the Bengals. He was on Game Night on ESPN Radio last night, had this to say about what the deal means for Burrow and Cincinnati.
That is an astronomical amount for this franchise. It shows you how much they truly believe he is their franchise quarterback, and it's hard to disagree, having been in the city when they were 2-14, to seeing the buzz around the place now, seeing the vibes, even him coming back
should
to
be
practice,
embarrassed, actually.
you can tell there is a difference when he is in the building, when he's on the field, when they know that he is going to be on that roster, and for them to commit those kind of resources.
Why are you playing a soundbite?
What's
this guy's name? Little Baby?
Thought that was shorter. I thought I clipped that down a little bit more.
This is such a waste of time.
Yeah,
it's 41 after the hour.
Thought that was clipped down a little bit more there.
We get it. They spent a lot of money on Joe Burrow. It's a big deal.
Clyde, action. Got the start. Got the start last night. A bit surprised by that. 6 carries, 22 yards. Clyde.
Go get him,
also
Clyde.
Caught a pass for 7 yards in the ballgame as well. Wrap it up. Quick baseball note for you. Cam Sanders closing it out last night for the Iowa Cubs. It was a short outing, but they were in a little bit of a sticky situation. He came in, got the final out via the strikeout, and they ended up getting the ending. Yeah, getting the ending they hoped for. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. I'll check them out with 9 locations in all. 2 in Baton Rouge, Corporate Boulevard in Bocage, in the Mall of Louisiana, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Shout out to the Port City, 318. Or online at lmfj.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. It's after further review. The New Orleans Saints are going to take on the Tennessee Titans. How are you feeling about that one?
I feel great. I think the Saints are gonna. I think the Saints are gonna go to the Super Bowl this year.
Really?
I do.
You and Keyshawn?
Does Keyshawn think they are too?
Keyshawn said that on the Fox show with Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win, but I think they're going. I think they're going, baby. Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing that you could argue in favor of the Saints, or really any team in the NFC, is that the NFC, other than Philadelphia, is pretty wide open. So if Philadelphia pees their pants in the playoffs, which could happen, I mean, it's the NFL playoffs, you would expect something different. I mean, could it be New Orleans? Could it be Detroit? Could the Rams get hot and go back?
No.
Could the 49ers go there with with their quarterback out of Iowa State, Brock Purdy, coming back?
I do like Brock Purdy, and I like the Lions. But the Saints are going. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're not going to win, but they're going to go.
You're such a homer. I love it.
Just love the Saints, man. I've always loved the Saints.
That's so not true.
It's not true.
Why do you hate them so much?
I don't. I just picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
But I feel like you're doing that to patronize me.
I'm not. I love our quarterback. He wears eyeshadow. I think he's a good player. We're the oldest team in the league. That's a plus. We're experienced. You know, the guys don't party. They go home and watch, you know, whatever. I think we've got a lot going on.
You know, man, I really I do not feel good about Sunday.
Why?
The Saints were really bad against the run last year. After going some 5 years without allowing a 100-yard rusher, the Saints were 24th in the NFL in rush defense.
Yeah, everybody rushed for 100 yards.
Everybody ran against them.
Mm-hmm.
And so much so that you remade your defensive front, right? David Onyemata's gone, Shai Tuttle's gone, Kentavious Street's gone. They're all gone.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I get it. Is it?
Yeah. They were just letting people get a hundo.
Maybe. So now you have this remade defensive front. You drafted Brian Brzee, you Colin Saunders, Nathan Shepard. You remade your defensive front, but this is just a monumental task with Derrick Henry coming in week 1.
Yeah, but I really like the kid from Baton Rouge.
Malcolm Roach?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He's been a really good player. I mean, undrafted free agent out of Texas. He's been
great.
a really good player.
Shout
He's been a great
out.
rotational player.
Mm-hmm.
But as Derrick Henry, I think Tennessee is better on both lines of scrimmage than New Orleans. That worries me. I think I like the Saints' skill guys better on both sides, and the depth there. I like the Saints' quarterback better. I just think the Titans are better on both lines of scrimmage, which means it's probably going to be that Tennessee probably controls the flow of the game. And if that's the case and it comes down to a kick, it's interesting because you got this rookie in Blake Grupe, and the Titans have a veteran in Nick Folk who's 1,000,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how much does he have left in the tank?
Yeah.
So I think this is like the odds makers have it at 3. I think it's a field goal game.
Really?
I completely agree.
How good do you think Derrick Henry was like in middle school and high school? Because you see what he's doing now to like grown-ups, like real guys.
Do you remember when Glenn Davis, Big Baby, was at U High?
Austin, my little brother, played against him, so I would go to watch the games. It was
in football or basketball?
Football.
Oh, football.
It was.
There was.
Yeah.
So for those who aren't in Baton Rouge, Sportsline Friday night for the high school highlights, they would years ago. I think this was on. It might have been on BRZ. I don't remember exactly. So forgive me. I'm not trying to. I just don't remember exactly. I like to give attribution when I can where it's warranted. But they had a highlight of Glenn Davis as a running back at U High,
Yeah.
and the highlight was like he literally had a kid holding his legs. He was just dragging him.
It might have
the
been
field.
Austin.
It might have been.
I'm not joking. Look, Big Baby was 7 years old working out in the football weight room when I was at LSU. He was like 7, bro, bigger and stronger than everybody else. It was unbelievable.
All right, it's after further review. Terrio's here. Let's knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 2 with Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, or hit us on the X, not Twitter, X.
Hey, Twitter. Oh, no, not Twitter. Hey, X world.
Thank you, George, truly. Or you can text your questions, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, Football Friday night. Remember Pluckers. If you're heading out to a high school game before you go, you want to grab a bite to eat, get by either Pluckers location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Maybe after the game tonight. It's going to be late. No worries. Pluckers is open until midnight or later every night of the week. So when that high school game lets out, you want a bite to eat, get by either Pluckers location. Maybe tonight you want to go watch Kansas against Illinois. Pretty good college football game tonight. Or you're looking to set up shop tomorrow for your football Saturday. It's Pluckers. If you're going out to Tiger Stadium, remember, you can park at or around Pluckers in that area on Nicholson, and you can get Baton Rouge on game day change the ordinance where you can have go cups. So you can go to Pluckers and you can get a beer at Pluckers and walk to Tiger Stadium. You can get your daiquiri or your adult lemonade cocktail that they have, all that stuff at Pluckers. Eat, then you can get your beverage to go as well. That's at Pluckers. Remember the Nicholson location. Or you just want to set up shop all day and watch games. No better place to be than at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, it's Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton
What kind of boy that be full of that drool? What kind of boy street shop like an Eskimo?
Juve, what kind of boy wanna be like me? Or one that wanna go get that 98 Mercedes?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're here with us. We'll get to our Pick'em segment here after the top of the hour. I missed this earlier in the week. Shout out to Chris Theriot. Any relation to you? Chris Theriot? I don't think so. 47 years old, lives in Central?
No, I mean, maybe. Maybe so.
Yeah, he sent me a video of an Alberta man riding his buffalo to the grocery store.
Wow.
Talked about it earlier this week. I want Colorado to call me, and I'll go to Colorado. I'll go to Boulder. I'll fly into Denver and drive to Boulder, because I don't think you can fly into Boulder. And I'll go ride Ralphie out the chute.
You would
run onto the field. I would ride that. As we learned, it's not actually Ralphie is a female, by the way, and is actually a bison, not a buffalo. So we learned.
You would ride that? You would do that?
100%. 100%. All right, Ask Ryan. This is from Chris Theriot. That's how I saw that, and I just missed the text from earlier week. Ask Ryan, over under 8 foot. If Matt was riding a bison, how high would he get bucked off?
I've never seen
in the air. Do bison buck?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
if it's like a bronco, right?
That's a good question for Todd McClure.
Do you think Todd could secure a? We talked about this.
Yes, I think he could.
Do you think he could? Okay.
I think he could probably secure it, and he would be able to tell us if they buck or not.
Okay. Mike Capadoni asked Ryan, will LSU's passing defense improve throughout the year?
Yep, they sure will.
Ask Ryan, what's the biggest shoe size that Ruckus carries? That's from Patrick McKenzie.
You know, I don't know that answer, Patrick, but I would imagine they have big shoes in there. I don't know.
Erica Moscona texted me. She asked if we could trade my shoes for her size. I'm like, absolutely not. Unequivocally no.
They may have a
No.
pair. They may have some over there.
No.
Could get though. Y'all can match.
No, not happening. Sorry. All right, fire away with your questions for Terry. You can email us. You can tweet us. By the way, tell people, while I refresh, tell people about Alpha Customs.
So Alpha Customs, 2 locations. Actually rode by the location in Prairieville today. There was tons of really cool trucks out front, jacked up, big old tires. So you got Baton Rouge and Prairieville. You also have Lafayette. Anything that you need, customizing your vehicle, trucks in particular, lifts, wheels, tires, anything aftermarket, window tinting, go to Alpha Customs. Check them out, alphacustoms.net, and they can get you taken care of.
Sean Comiskey asked Ryan, Jake Hayner PEDs? Really?
Oh, man, yeah, I saw that. That had to be a mix-up.
I'm surprised.
That had to be a mix-up. And it, listen, it happens. They test for all kind of crap, and you don't know what's in supplements. Like, I don't think the guy was sitting on needles. Let me just say that. I don't think he had just like some old school Winstraw and was just shooting up. That wasn't the case.
Ben Buller asked Ryan, what's the most high-profile pair of sneakers you have? I know yours.
What would be
Your
my
crawfish dunks.
Oh, dude, I was going to wear them today, but I didn't get a chance to go home. I do have the crawfish dunks. I've worn them once.
Once? Why?
I've only worn them once. To a crawfish boil. Believe that.
How apropos.
Yeah.
Do we have a guest picker?
Yeah, we do. My favorite
we'll
shoes
find
are my
out
11s.
after Sports Center.
AFR.
Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. I'm pretty excited. Just a couple days earlier this week, I got an invitation in the mail for the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony of the new calibration lab at the Michelli location in Harahan. They expanded. I'm very excited. I was talking to Joel about that probably a year ago when they were going through the whole process of designing and developing and doing it. So the grand open ribbon cutting is coming up next month, and I'll head down to Harahan for that. Of course, Michelli Weighing and Measurement. I always encourage you to go to Michelli.com. When you look at Michelli.com, you can see the services tab there at the top, and it'll let you know everything they do. Everybody knows in the industries knows Michelli for scales. I mean, they're our nation's largest distributor of scales, but they do so much more. If you need your precision measurement equipment calibrated, they do that. They also offer ISO 17025 accreditation as well. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, 11 different states. Michelli.com. Michelli.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I'm Doug Brown at the FIBA World Cup semifinals in Manila today. Germany beats Team USA 113-111, fending off a furious U.S. comeback in the closing minutes. U.S. coach Steve Kerr.
I couldn't be prouder of our guys for how hard they played, how they've approached these last 5 weeks in practice and put in all the work. And this team is very worthy of winning a championship. And we just didn't get it done.
Steve Kerr in the other semi, Serbia beats Canada 95-86. Team USA will play Canada for the bronze on Sunday. The only 2 Pac-12 schools still standing next year, Oregon State and Washington State, file a legal complaint today against the conference and Commissioner George Kliavkov. They're asking that next week's board meeting be canceled, and if any of the schools that are leaving should still be on the board. Men's semifinal day at the U.S. Open, Novak Djokovic beats American Ben Shelton in straight sets. Coming up at 7 Eastern on ESPN, Alcaraz against Medvedev.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
You can't handle the Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour, presented by ProCharge EV. Call 225-397-4593 or go to ProChargeEV.com.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Let me find out that
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Yeah, bruh.
Yo, bruh.
All right. Grambling head coach Hugh Jackson later this hour. Theriot's going to bug out of here a little early, so I'll give you my LSU-Grambling and Saints-Titans pick at the end of the hour. But time to meet our celebrity guest picker.
Yeah.
First, Paul, let's go over the results from last week. Tony La Russa was our celebrity guest picker. So how did we do? Tony went 5-4 in our 9 games. I went 5-4. You went 6-3. So congrats on a good week for you. Yeah. So overall, you're at 12-4. I'm at 9-7. Yeah. So you've got me by 3 games right now, provided Paulie's doing honest math over there. Which I don't know that he is. All right. I don't know who our guest picker is, and when I walked out in the top of the hour to go pee, you were whispering to Paul and Muso over there, so I legitimately don't know who this is. Yeah. I know you were taking a big swing earlier this week that didn't come. Can we disclose that?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
We were shooting for Michael B. Jordan earlier this week, and it looked like it was going to happen, and then I think last night or today it kind of the fish got off the hook. Yeah,
hopefully we'll get him, at some point, and then I had thought we were going to get Shaq today, but he's on a plane and blah, so whatever. So I got the next best guy, and I'd like to introduce.
Is it Corliss Williamson?
No, I'd like to introduce our week 2 celebrity guest picker, head coach from the Dunham School, Neil Weiner. Like to have him as guest pick, football extraordinaire, offensive extraordinaire. Your friend, buddy of yours.
I actually prefer. Wait, you got to tell him turn the radio down. Yep. First of all, you have to introduce him as from the Catholic high school class of 1995.
There we go. Okay.
That is former Catholic High Bear, former Catholic High receiver, punter as well, by the way, on the 1994 team that went into Karen Crow and ended Kevin Falk's high school career in a first-round playoff game. And now happens to coach football at another school, but he will always first be from the Catholic High class of 1995, Neil Weiner. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. Many people say I have the same physique as Michael B. Jordan. We've got a Friday Night Lights connection,
I love it, man. So, very good. Very, very good. Congrats on the win last night.
Yeah, thank you. It was almost early this morning. We finished at 11:53 p.m. last night.
It was great.
Yeah. The guy to my immediate left was teeing off on lightning delays. How do you feel about lightning delays?
The truth is, I say play ball. We'll let the officials, if they think it's close, get out of there. But no, the safe thing is player safety. We love our kids. We got to protect those babies out there.
Oh, come on.
We got to do the right thing.
Coach, it was 11:45 at night. Okay, I had to suck down a burger from the pit over there, and then some stale nachos. Like I'm starving. My dogs hadn't ate. The kid. Everybody's asleep. Oh man.
All right, Neil. How much college football do you get to watch?
Not as much as I used to. When I was younger, I would know every game. I'd know every player. I don't get as much. Saturdays are a pretty busy work day getting prepared for our next opponent. But I do my best to keep up.
All right. Well, we got 9 games. Hit us with the music if you would. All right, so these no point spreads. We're just picking winners here, so you can take your best guess, even if you're not familiar with them. But a lot of SEC flavor, so you'll be familiar with a lot of this stuff. All right, let's start off. Morning window, Vanderbilt at Wake Forest. No Sam Hartman for Wake Forest. The Doors are 2-0. How do you think they do?
They're riding it pretty good right now. I always like to pull for the SEC. If Wake Forest is full strength, I'd go with them, but I'm going to go with the Doors.
All right, Doors?
Yeah, I'm going Vanderbilt as well.
All right, give me Wake Forest. I'm going to take Wake Forest at home to win that game. I need to make up some ground on Theriot. Stay in the ACC, at least half of it anyway, a partial ACC member. Notre Dame at NC State. So former Wake Forest quarterback Sam Hartman, now with the Irish, goes on the road. First real test for Notre Dame this year. What do you think, Neil?
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I think North Carolina State is knocking on the door of being a good team this year. They got potential, but, Coach Freeman and Notre Dame, they got surprised by some teams later on. I don't think they're going to let that happen early on this year.
I think Notre Dame in every facet of the game is pretty dang good this year. Give me the Irish.
I would agree. I think this is a pretty easy call. I'm going to go Notre Dame there as well. So everyone's got Notre Dame. All right, Coach Prime burst onto the scene last week.
Here we go.
The surprise for everybody except your boy.
Yep.
Nebraska lost the Matt Rule opener to Minnesota. Now it's Nebraska at Colorado, an old Big 12 matchup. What you think, Neil?
Well, I tell you, if there was ever a time for there to be a letdown, this would be it. Coach Prime does not have any coach speak in him, and he has gushed over Matt Rule and how well he coaches. I know his players are going to be focused. I think the Buffaloes are going 2-0.
What do you think about Dion? I think you alluded to it there, but what do you think about Dion, how he's handled things?
I think Dion has been Dion. He's been true to himself, and he's rallying his fan base, and he's getting the kids that love to be a part of what he's doing, and that's what a coach is supposed to do. So he's got a different a flavor than I do, but he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
No, you guys are pretty similar, like the jewelry and everything. Like y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I can dance a little in the locker room. I haven't seen him dance, you know.
How about Coach Prime wearing a hoodie for a noon kickoff or an 11 a.m. kickoff in Dallas, Texas, when it's 120 degrees on the field? You want to talk about a boss move? That's a boss move. All right, Theriot, who you got?
Oh man, listen, I'm going with Nebraska here.
All right.
Okay, I think the Cornhuskers are coming. I don't believe in Colorado just yet. You know, had last weekend not first off, I think TCU stinks. Had last weekend not happened, the Huskers are touchdown favorite in this game. Give me the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, except last weekend did happen. Colorado. All right, down at Ullman, Ole Miss at Tulane. A little ranked-on-ranked action. What you think, Neil?
I love Willie Fritz. I think he's a fantastic coach. Slade Nagel, son of Johnny Nagel,
Yeah.
LSU legend and current Zachary assistant coach down there at Tulane. But I'm an LSU Tiger, and I'm never going to pull for Tulane.
Love it.
I agree with Coach. Go Rebs.
All right, we're all going Ole Miss in that one as well. Rebs are about a touchdown favorite in that game, but Tulane's good, man. Willie Fritz is awesome. They got Pratt, is a great veteran quarterback as well. I would not be surprised at all if Tulane pulls off the upset.
Pratt's been there for like 10 years.
All right, let's go down to Coral Gables. Actually, this is in Miami. It's Texas A&M at Miami, two teams that fell flat on their face last year looking for a comeback. Something's got to give here. Neil, what do you think? A&M at Miami.
I would love for both teams to lose if that's possible.
Amen.
But I'm going to go with the U.
All right, he's going Miami.
I just think at some point the way A&M's recruited over the years, like we have to see it on the field at some point. I don't hope it's not this year, but I got to go A&M here.
I agree. I think A&M's talent's better, and this isn't necessarily a vouch for A&M. It's more, I'm not a believer in Miami either, so I will go with A&M there. All right, Cy-Hawk Trophy, Iowa at Iowa State. What you think, Neil?
I mean, you know, Iowa's finally scoring some points. I think they probably enjoyed it. They probably want to try it again. I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes.
I'm going to Iowa also.
Who? In Ames at Jack Trice Stadium.
You got some ground to make up, bro.
I think Coach Campbell's brim of his hat is curved too much. He can't do it.
There we go.
That is an aggressive curvature there in a flat bill culture. I'm going to go with Iowa as well. I think Iowa's defense too good and defense travels. All right, couple of SEC ones to finish up here. Mississippi State at home against Arizona. Bulldogs went out to Tucson, won last year. Now Zona makes the return trip. Neil, what you got?
I'm going to stick with the SEC and Mississippi State. I know it'll be a big time as they're trying to honor Coach Leach this year, and I just don't think the Pac-10 or Pac-12 or how many they got left can handle the SEC.
Yeah, Arizona stinks, and Mississippi State stinks, but Arizona really stinks. So give me the Bulldogs.
I don't know, man. Coach Fish up there at Arizona's got that thing pointed in the right direction. You can roll your eyes all you want. That's a better team than they've been in their recent history. I do like the fact that it's in Starkville, so I will take Mississippi State. But by the way, like I am not sold on Zach Arnett. Like I picked State to finish last in the conference in the division, mostly because like it's hard. I mean, I don't know how you overcome the tragic death of Mike Leach, but also I just don't believe in Zach Arnett.
Yeah.
But I will take Mississippi State in that game. Auburn goes 2 time zones over to Berkeley to take on Cal. You want to talk about a clash of cultures? War Eagle against the Cal Bears in Berserkly. What do you think, Neil?
You know, that like the ACLU versus the Bible Belt right there. I think Hugh Freeze and the Tigers roll big.
Man, I really want to pick Cal in this game.
Pick them.
I'm picking Auburn.
Picking Auburn, huh?
I am.
Okay.
This could be the week you make up some ground.
Why?
Because you're going to pick Cal, and I think Cal's going to win. I think they could win.
I think Cal could win.
I think they could win. I think you should pick them.
Auburn's better. Cal don't care enough about football. Auburn's going to go in. All right, finally, Texas at Bama. Are the Horns back? What do you think, Neil?
Well, Coach Saban's former assistants have not had the best record doing it. Coach Sark may be the sharpest of those assistants out there, but the last time he was at Alabama, I saw him pick his nose and eat his boogers. That guy is not winning in Tuscaloosa.
I think everybody's sleeping on Bama, dude. I mean, I think Bama's going to be really good. I like the way the quarterback.
Whoever thinks Bama isn't going to be good. It's just, are they going to be Bama?
Yeah,
they have a different standard. It's just a different question. No one thinks Bama's going to go 6-6.
I say good for Bama. I think they're.
Everybody on College Game Day picked them in the friggin' Final Four.
Yeah, give me Alabama. I don't like Texas.
Alabama is going to roll Texas. No roll tide pun intended there. Like, give me. Do you realize? The last time Alabama lost on its home field? When Joe Burrow and LSU went in there and beat them. Like, you think Texas is going to win in Bryant-Dennehy Stadium on a Saturday night? Hell no, Texas. Alabama is going to dump truck Texas. Anyway, all right, there's our picks. Neil Weiner, we appreciate it. Go Bears. Bears got a big one tonight. See if we can get a dub. Your boy's back on the call tonight for the first time in like 8 years for Dixon, who's at a retreat. So wish me luck.
Yeah, last time you were on the call, I think there was a made field goal for a walk-off championship for Dale Weiner.
That was it, man. What a way to go out, huh? They're bringing me out of retirement for one game, but I'm looking forward to being back in the booth and love the alma mater, man. Congrats on the win last night for the Dunham Tigers. Have a great rest of the season, man. We appreciate you for jumping aboard with us for a few minutes.
Hey, thanks to both of you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Coach. Be well. That is Neil Weiner, Catholic High alum. Neil Weiner, of course, played for Neil's dad, Dale Weiner, legendary coach, more than 300 wins, Hall of Famer, and awesome dude. Neil's carved out a great career in his own right, man. Doing great stuff there with the Dunham Tigers. They played last night, so we appreciate it. So as we mentioned, Theriot tried in earnest, and it looked like we were going to get Michael B. Jordan's Michael B. Jordan to jump aboard. Fell through, but we appreciate Neil for pinch hitting right there, jumping aboard with us. So what are we thinking for next week? Mississippi State.
I mean, I've got a lot of lines out in the water.
Do you want to go back to the Fred Smoot well? I want to have Fred Smoot on the show, just have Fred Smoot on the show again.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Friday.
I know. I just want to talk to Fred Smoot.
He's so good. That was one of my favorites, man. I just smiled that entire interview. I didn't say anything. I just smiled the whole time.
The greatest trash talker in the history of the world, Fred Smoot. All right. It's after further review. Let's knock out a quick break. One more segment with Theriot, and then we'll talk to Grambling head coach Hugh Jackson. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Hey, I want to remind you about something. Rouse's, download the app. Remember, if you fill out, if you go shopping on the app, go search the app, pick your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. When you pull up right in front of the store, one of the designated spots, they'll bring it out to your car. If you spend more than $35, it's free. So you want to get all your tailgate supplies, of course you're going to spend more than $35. There's no extra charge to use the personal shopper. Also, if you spend more than $100, use the code SAINTS20, and they'll give you $20 off your order. How about that? That's pretty incredible. So if you're going to have a game watch, if you're going tailgate, make sure Rouse's is part of it. If you're in Baton Rouge, of course, the Rouse's on Burbank is right by campus. Make that super convenient for your game day. Muse and Hanny will be there for Eagle 98.1 game day. It's Rouse's. This feels like home.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is
Thuggin' is in my blood and my genes. All that if they bling bling. Yeah, that's my block, my hood, my setting. Uptown is the spot where you can put to the test. Best be about unloading the tech. You better protect your heat.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
I'm glad you're rolling aboard with us here on a Football Friday edition of AFR. Last segment here with Theriot. He's going to jet out of here. We'll have Hugh Jackson, Grambling head coach, join us a little more than 10 minutes from right now, and I'll give you a pick on LSU-Grambling and Saints-Titans. Do you want to give me your thoughts on Saints-Titans before you scoot out of here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, like you said earlier, you've got a remade defensive front. You've got a new quarterback. I think there's a lot of question marks. But if you just look at the Saints team on paper, you say, man, this team's going to be pretty good. And then the NFC, the division itself is just such a bad division. I think the Saints make the playoffs just because they're okay. But you never know what happens, man. These teams can get hot. I don't know that this is the best matchup. I don't know that Derrick Henry's a good matchup for anybody. But you know, you've got a linebacker that's been really dang good over the course of his career. And
Mario Davis.
Yeah, exactly. And so you know, I'm hoping that he can kind of neutralize Henry and looking forward. I know I rip on the Saints and kind of mess around a whole lot about it, but I'm really looking forward to see what Derek Carr looks like in this uniform.
Why?
Because I saw what happened with Drew. And I'm not saying he's Drew, and I'm not saying his career is going to turn into what Drew Brees' career was by any means. I'm just and it's a different coach and all that stuff. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's got a wonderful skill set. He's got some weapons on the outside, two elite receivers that can go. And I'm hopeful that he flourishes.
I'm not trying to be like just completely combative, and you know me well enough to know my affinity for the Saints. Like, I love the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I'm emotional about this.
Well, no, you wear
my DeMario Davis Man of God headband.
He really does.
I know I'm ridiculous. My wife knows I'm ridiculous. Yes. She hates being around me.
Drew, all of it.
The most gigantic difference when I watch LSU games and Saints games is I don't have to do a Saints postgame show. Like, LSU is a work day for me when I have to do whiskey and wine, or before when I was doing pregame, or when I was sitting in the press box. Like, I've always had work responsibilities on Saturday, so the way I watch a game is just very different. on Sundays. It's just go be a Saints fan. And so that's embedded in me. But when I'm sitting here, I have to be objective about the team as I cover them. Like, of course I want them to win every game, but I have to, objectively look at this. And Derek Carr had great weapons with the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, they went and got him Devontae Adams last year, who we were having conversations 2 years ago about him being the best receiver in the NFL. He had Josh Jacobs. He had Darren Waller. He had great weapons. So that doesn't hold water with me or hold weight with me. He had great weapons with the Raiders. And 2 years ago, he had a really good season, throwing the football. But, man, there's just something about, when the team that drafted you and made you their franchise for 9 seasons says, you know what? We've seen enough. We know what your ceiling is. And they let you go. That's telling. Right? You played professional sports for a long time. When a team that knows you well decides, it's not to say that teams are never wrong. Right? The Saints made a decision years ago on Malcolm Jenkins, and they let him go in free agency. And Sean Payton often said how much of a mistake that was. And they ultimately got him back from Philly. But there's something to be said for that. That resonates with me.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Derek Carr is done. Don't misunderstand me. I think I think the Saints are going to go 10-7. I think they're going to win the division because I don't think the division's very good. And I think the Saints do have the best quarterback in a bad division, all things I've said. But this is one of those games, man, for me where I'm they're better than you on the line of scrimmage. You got the better quarterback. They're better on the line of scrimmage, for sure. And the type of ball they want to play, I think they're more equipped to do. And their coach is better than yours. Mike Vrabel is a better has had more success as a head football. This is objective. This isn't even this is inarguable. Mike Vrabel is a better head coach than Dennis Allen. Period.
Who's the Titans quarterback?
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. He's not. He doesn't stink though.
He's also not great. And look, they've tried to draft his replacement the last 2 years with Malik Willis and Will Levis. So, the Derrick Henry thing scares me. Look, if the Saints' run defense was still as good as it was for that long stretch of not allowing 100-yard rushers, I'd feel great about the Saints on Sunday. But I also think that the Saints' run defense was terrible last year. I don't know that they're better this year. I hope they are. You drafted Brian Brzee to be better. You brought in Colin Saunders. You brought in Nathan Shepard. You expect to be better. I don't know if you are. We gave our I'll give you a pick on the game at the end. We gave all of our picks yesterday. You weren't here. Have you given any thought to who you think wins the AFC and the NFC, and who wins the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I have. I think the Bengals. I hate to be that guy, but I think the Bengals are going to win.
The Bengals win the AFC. Okay, what about the NFC?
And look, okay, I get it. It's a homer pick, but bro, look what the guy's done the last 3 years.
Who do you think wins the NFC?
I think the Saints are going to win the NFC. Wow. I think the Saints are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you're serious. You're picking the Saints to the Super Bowl. Okay. So, by the way, and you think the Bengals win the Super Bowl?
I think the Bengals are going to beat them.
So, by the way, yesterday we did our official on-the-record picks. Muse, Paulie, and I, we went division winners, the wild card teams, AFC, NFC champion, Super Bowl. And we did not collaborate at all. All three of us picked Bengals, Eagles, Super Bowl with the Bengals winning it. So now you came in and picked the Bengals. All four of us now have the Cincinnati Bengals winning the Super Bowl.
That's not a good sign.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't think that there's a lot of people picking Cincinnati to win the Super Bowl. I think most people are leaning on Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think if it's not Kansas City, a lot of people are looking at Buffalo. I mean, there's other teams that are going to get more love than the Bengals are. But the Bengals have been to back-to-back AFC Championship games. 2 years ago, they won in Kansas City. So Burrow has gotten better every year, and they finally got him an offensive line. They went and spent a ton of money bringing in a franchise left tackle. I like Cincinnati a lot this year. Joe Burrow's healthy. If Joe Burrow's upright, I like Cincinnati a lot. You want to tell people about Haspel before you leave?
I love Haspel.
Because you didn't get to do your Haspel thing for all the Ask Ryans.
And I do. It's the so winter's coming.
Yes.
When you think of Haspel, you think of seersucker and the parties and all that stuff. But
it's Kentucky
Derby, crawfish boils, all that stuff. It's much more than that. You can go to Haspel.com.
Ooh, look at their game day gear on the website.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you've got the game day stuff. You've got it all. But also nice sweaters coming out, the dinner jackets, the suits, right? So the dark color seersucker suits is what I'm on right now. There's a gray that is really sexy. There's a navy blue that's pretty awesome. And that's a winter type feel for me. That's not one it's not the traditional white and blue seersucker that you're going to wear. But it's one you can wear. Everybody needs a solid black suit as well. And it just fits much different and much better. So, but yeah,
look at that.
Vests and the shirts and the button downs. I mean, the whole thing. Go to Haspel.com, shop online. It ships directly to you. If it doesn't fit, throw it back in the box. Go right back to Haspel, and they can send you the right size. So they got it all, man.
Haspel.com. Very cool. All right, Theriot's getting out of here. Appreciate you for coming in. It is after further review. We will knock out a quick break. When we come back, our conversation with Grambling head coach and former NFL head coach Hugh Jackson. That's coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. I'd like to remind you, of course, tomorrow is Saturday, and it's still, temperatures in the triple digits every day. And it's the weekend, and so you're thinking, man, that would stink if your AC goes out on the weekend, because how are you going to get someone to come out to your house? Well, if you call River City's 1 Hour Air, you don't have to worry about that at all, because it will always come out. Nights, holidays, weekends. I told you this last Sunday. We woke up. Our house was warm. Called River City's the AC was not working. I called River City's 1 Hour Air. They had someone out within the hour. This was in the 9 a.m. hour on Sunday morning.
Oh, wow.
And they did not charge me extra. And it's not because I endorse them. It's because I called 752-0001, and they sent Olin to the house, and he got our AC back up and running within an hour. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. That's 1hourbr.com. For River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Scooncha, fall in the air, fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Hey, remember, tomorrow T-Bob and I will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar for Whiskey and Wine. So as soon as LSU and Grambling goes final, as soon as the clock hits 0, we'll be live from Don Juan Cigar Bar. We invite you to come join us. T-Bob watches the whole game there. I get there at halftime. So if you want to come watch the game at Don Juan Cigar Bar, we'll see you there. If you want to come for Whiskey and Wine, we'll see you there. Or if you want to watch us, you can stream us on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. We'll look for you as soon as the game goes final. Clock hits 0. We'll go live for Whiskey and Wine. And speaking of course, it is LSU and Grambling, 6:30 kick from Tiger Stadium. The Grambling Tigers come in for the first time in their history for this matchup, and they are led by second-year head coach Hugh Jackson, of course, who spent many years in the NFL, former head coach with the Raiders and with the Cleveland Browns as well, now in year 2 with the Grambling Tigers. Coach Jackson, we appreciate a couple of minutes. Thanks so much, especially the day before the game. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Doing really, really well. Coach, I'd love to know, you took on a rebuild a year ago, year 2. How would you say it compares now as to where you were a year ago at this time?
Well, I think I know my team a little bit better. I think we've changed the team probably about 75%. And so I have a better idea of what I have. Obviously, I think, we're still in that phase of putting the pieces together, but I think we're getting there.
It's interesting because you spent 20 years in the NFL, but prior to that, you had a long history in college football. And the biggest difference now, I would guess, is the transfer portal. And I look at your roster, and you've got guys from Ole Miss and from places like Portland or Utah State and Tennessee and all over East Tennessee. So how has the portal helped or altered the way that you are building your roster?
Well, the portal just affords you an opportunity to find some players of need at positions that maybe recruiting is not as strong at. So I kind of see it like being in the NFL. You have a free agency, you have a draft, and then you have these different signing periods. So we've kind of played it that way, and I think our staff has done a tremendous job of finding talent that fits our profile and exactly what we're looking for, and we're really happy with what we have at this point.
One of those guys, and Coach Hugh Jackson is our guest, one of those guys who is someone I think we're all looking forward to seeing, is getting a lot of attention on draft boards, is Sonny Anderson, your outside linebacker. If you were to put on your talent evaluator's cap when you look at him, what is exciting about him as a player and as a prospect?
One, that at first he's a tremendous human being. He's very talented. He's 6'5". He's 250 pounds. He's put on 20 pounds. He's 4'6", 4'5". He does a great job of studying the game. He has tremendous desire to be a good player, and he works at it. And so there's no holes in Sonny. He's done a tremendous job. He's a guy that if I was in the National Football League, we would be really evaluating very strongly.
Did you, in all your years, Coach, did you and Brian Kelly ever cross paths?
Oh, no, we've met before, absolutely. Coach Kelly was at UC, and I met him when I was coaching in Cincinnati. Great man. He did a great job there, obviously, before he left University of Cincinnati.
Yeah. It's so interesting how when coaching lifers cross paths, how it happens in so many different phases. Hugh Jackson, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. When you watched this LSU team on tape, the Florida State game, I know what all the narratives and the fan conversations have been here. I'm curious what you saw from LSU when you watched that game film.
Saw a very talented team, very good quarterback who knows how to play in their system. I know Coach Denbrick's a tremendous offensive coordinator, so I have a lot of respect for him. And then obviously when you look at their defense, their front seven is as good as anybody in the country. So they have very talented players. They have very good coaches, very great program. You know, sometimes first games don't turn out the way you want them to. I think they're a very talented football team.
Your quarterback had himself a day as well, week 1 against Hampton. Miles Crawley threw for 311 yards, a couple of touchdowns. What did he do so well in that game that allowed him to have that type of output?
I think he played the game, played within our system, and gave all the players, within the progression of what he was doing, chances to touch the football. I think he did a really good job because he was able to spread the ball around to different people, and he did a great job of taking care of the football.
Hugh Jackson is our guest here for a couple of more minutes. I'm also interested, Coach, in what it means for your program to have the opportunity to play a game against LSU in Tiger Stadium, certainly for the players from Louisiana, but just for the program as a whole to be able to play this game.
Well, it's amazing. Obviously we're going to get a chance to showcase who we are and what we are at Grambling State University. And obviously we have a rich history and tradition. And to come to Baton Rouge and play LSU in front of their fans and our fans as well. A lot of these players, some of them played against each other in high school. Some of them played together in high school. So it's a tremendous opportunity for these guys to go back and see some fellow classmates and compete against them. Obviously, it's the SEC. It's one of the top programs in that conference, and it's in our state. And going from a recruiting standpoint and from a fan standpoint, it's going to be a tremendous football game.
Coach, over the 20 years you spent in the NFL, there were so many LSU guys on teams you coached. I'm curious when you were in the league, what your impression was of LSU.
It's amazing that you asked that. There's so many players that I did coach, and I'll start with Andrew Whitworth, who is still a really good friend to this day. And Andrew is one of the best pros I've ever coached that came from LSU and did a tremendous job for us in Cincinnati. And I've always thought that there's just a hotbed of football in the state. A lot of talent does stay home and goes to a lot of different schools around this area. But that LSU is the place to be because that's where a lot of great talent is at.
You and if I'm not mistaken, I think I have this right. When you were at Southern Cal, you were also there with Ed Ogeron. You overlapped for several years there. Of course, Ed was the coach at LSU. I'd love a thought on what it was like coaching with Coach O back at SC in the late '90s, early 2000s.
You mean Bebe Ogeron?
That's him, man. That's him.
So that was my guy. We rode together for 2 years.
Oh wow.
We lived a little ways away from USC and in the Aliso Viejo area, and so me and Ed, we rode together every day and traded stories on pass protection and all kind of things. I thought he was a tremendous coach, tremendous person. I still have a relationship with him today, and one of my better friends.
Hugh Jackson will be on the opposing sideline Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. It's the Grambling Tigers and the LSU Tigers. Coach, we're looking forward to the game Saturday. Can't thank you enough for carving out a few minutes here today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it is our pleasure. Hugh Jackson. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. 3.9% APR on a 2023 Volkswagen Atlas. Are you kidding me? I tell you all the time, you can get the best deals because at South Point, they're the largest volume Volkswagen dealer in our state. So they can give you a better deal than any other dealership. 1.9% APR on a Taos, which is the fun-sized SUV. Search the inventory at southpointvw.com. When you buy a Volkswagen, it's the great German engineering, the 9 different IIHS top safety picks, manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant, and you get it all without the cost. It's South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highlander, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? We appreciate Hugh Jackson for spending a couple of minutes. It's always interesting. I mean, it's a guy that was a former NFL head coach, man. And, to look at what Deion Sanders' impact has been on not just SWAC, but college football, I think you see programs willing to make sort of, I hesitate to say this, but sort of celebrity hires, if that makes sense. Jackson State hiring Dion was such a monumental thing, and you've seen it sort of replicated. Eddie George at Tennessee State. You've seen UAB hire Trent Dilfer. Hugh Jackson is in a different mold, right? Because this isn't a player that's a first-time coach. This is a guy who was an NFL head coach. But what a huge coup for Grambling to get someone of Hugh Jackson's ilk who had coached in major college football for 20 years before going to the NFL and coaching for 20 years, where he was an NFL head coach, and now he's there at Grambling. So wish him well, obviously pulling for the LSU Tigers on Saturday. And I think we all understand how that game is likely to go, just because you're talking about fundamentally two just dramatically different programs with resources and caliber of athletes. But, as Coach Jackson said there, you're talking about with respect to Grambling, a lot of kids from the state of Louisiana who have an opportunity to play against guys they played against or with in high school, and to play game in Tiger Stadium is a great opportunity. So, and look, Grambling's going to get a check for $800,000 to come play that game. So y'all know I don't love the idea of Power 5 funding the Group of 5 or the FCS, and nobody really wants to see these games. It's just not competitive. It's not what we long for. No one looks forward to LSU against Grambling. But if you're looking for the silver linings, it's the fact that LSU is going to be able to get a lot of guys playing time, get a lot of guys their first taste. You'll be able to iron out some kinks before you go on the road to Starkville next week. And for Grambling, they get an opportunity to have a pretty cool environment for their players and to make a little money. So it'll be a big party around Tiger Stadium on Saturday. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Was there earlier today. Remember, Pico Way Laser Tattoo Removal. That's the big special all this month. 20% off. The strongest, most effective, pain-free laser tattoo removal is Pico Way. It's at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. So you got that ink that you wish you never got and you want to get rid of it? The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online, theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, I'll give you a pick on LSU, Grambling, and Saints Titans. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It's a good week of practice. We're excited about getting out to the Dome and getting a chance to play a regular season game. We got a hell of an opponent coming in here, but we're excited about it, and hopefully our crowd's going to be excited about it too, and it'll be a raucous environment in the Dome on Sunday.
Dennis Allen on Friday meeting with reporters before the Saints open up the 2023 season. The Titans coming in. Saints are a 3-point favorite in the ball game, and boy, there is a tremendous amount of anticipation, as there is with the start of every season, but this one in particular, because it does feel like, for the New Orleans Saints, sort of starting anew. And yes, that was the case a year ago. It was for the first time in 16 years someone other than Sean Payton was the head coach. The Bounty Gate year notwithstanding. You all know what I mean. It was Dennis Allen. But a year ago felt like Dennis Allen continuing the Sean Payton era. It was Dennis Allen. It was still Pete Carmichael, who's still in place. Largely the same staff was still there. Many of the same players. It was Jameis Winston's team as the starter. And we had tremendous expectation for that offense a year ago. And injuries derailed so much of it, and the defense got off on a terrible foot to start the season and steadied themselves later in the year and looked more like what we've become accustomed to see with the New Orleans Saints, but the offense never got going, as it was the first time since 2005 that the Saints finished outside of the top 20 in scoring offense. So the big question for this team is, in committing to Derek Carr and having Michael Thomas healthy, sophomore year for Chris Olave, Trevor Penning now starting after using a first-round pick on him a year ago, Jawan Johnson a year older, you bring in Foster Moreau, you look at this offense and you go, are you ready to reclaim your spot among the NFL's elite? Where one of the things that's just a given is when you see those gold helmets, the Saints are going to go out and they are going to score. I don't have the answer to that. And I'm really not sure I have the answer to that this weekend. Dennis Allen said it earlier this week. And I don't know that you could say it any better when you talk about what you face with these Tennessee Titans.
They play a lot of close games. They don't beat themselves. They take advantage of when their opponents make mistakes. So I think they're generally one of the more physical teams that plays in our league.
They're a physical team. They're really good on both lines of scrimmage. Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Harold Landry. How are the New Orleans Saints, how is that offensive line going to handle that pressure in the front? Trevor Penning is going to be starting at left tackle for the first time in his career. Ryan Ramchik's coming off the worst year of his career. Cesar Ruiz has never really looked like a great starter in the NFL. When the Saints were great, we focused so much, obviously, on Drew Brees, and rightfully so. But, man, when you had Jonathan Goodwin and when you had Carl Nix and you had Jari Evans and you had Teron Armstead, you had an incredible offensive line. And the Saints have invested resources. I mean, Andrews Pete was a first-rounder. Eric McCoy was a second-rounder. Ruiz was a first-rounder. Ramchick was a first-rounder. Penning, a first-rounder. You've invested draft capital. I don't know if that unit is good yet. Can they keep Derek Carr upright? Can they run the ball? A question that's compounded further by the fact that you're not going to have Alvin Kamara, who's not only your best running back, but also is great catching the ball out of the backfield. And Kendre Miller likely not going to play in this game as well. And what is Jamal Williams going to be able to do? I don't know. I think there's so many questions on that Saints offense that it's hard for me to get there saying, yep, from jump, they're just going to go kaboom. I hope they do. My goodness, I hope we go. And it looks like a revival for Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave builds on his great freshman season he had a year ago as a rookie. And this offensive line, Trevor Penning looks like a franchise left tackle. And Derek Carr drinks from the fountain of youth. That's what we're all hoping happens. And it very well could. But when you go into this game, I got to look at what I know. And what I know is Tennessee's got a great defensive front. They have a more successful head coach than you. And offensively, the Saints have never had to face Derrick Henry. And the Saints' run defense last year was terrible. They were 24th in the NFL in run defense, and now you got to face that offensive line and Derrick Henry coming in week 1. If the Saints can load up and stop Derrick Henry and make Ryan Tannehill beat you, I'm not confident he can. Now, remember, they also went out and got DeAndre Hopkins. And if he decides he's going to be DeAndre Hopkins again, that's a great matchup with he and Marshawn Lattimore. We'll see how that plays out. I think the odds makers have this right. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think this is a field goal game, and I sure hope that the Saints are the one that hit the field goal at the end of the game to win it. Blake Grupe, what a statement it could make if he is the guy that kicks that field goal that wins it for New Orleans. The Saints are a 3-point home favorite in a coin flip type game. But for me, I got to be honest, and I got to go with the team I think is better on both lines of scrimmage, and Nick Folk is the kicker for the Tennessee Titans. And I'm going to go ahead and guess that Tennessee is the one that ekes this one out. I'm going to pick the Titans 27-24 to beat the Saints in the opener. So let's hope y'all are all laughing at me on Monday. All right, it's after, like y'all did this past Monday. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Muse, Paulie, I appreciate you. Go Tigers. Who dat? Let's have a better weekend so next week is a lot more fun. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. If you need tires, buy the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible. That's at Shawbills. They'll sell you the best tires on the road. Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, BF Goodrich, name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will work to get you the best possible price on the best tires on the road. And if you buy tires at Shawbills and find them cheaper somewhere else advertised, they'll give you 125% of the price you paid. It's part of the Charlie's Dozen, which also includes free tire repairs, free tire rotations, free balancing. Learn more at ShawBillsTire.com. That's ShawBillsTire.com. And as I say all the time as well, if you are looking for a career instead of a job, Shawbills wants to talk to you. Not only are their customers like family, you better believe their employees are as well. It's Shawbills. Locations all over South Louisiana and online at ShawBillsTire.com. That's Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.